Please note, those who are participating in the poster competition, please reach the examination hall 2 with your posters. Students, please note, those who are participating for the poster competition, please reach the examination hall 2 with your posters. Students, please note, those who are participating in the poster competition, please reach the examination hall 2 with your posters. The program is about to begin. All of you, please be seated in the seminar hall. The program is about to begin. All of you, please be seated in the seminar hall. A very good morning to you all. It's my absolute pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to each one of you present here at the National Seminar on Contemporary Challenges in Processing, Quality and Safety of Food. We are thrilled to witness such enthusiastic participants, highly learned dignitaries, and cheerful audience gathered to share and deepen their understanding of this significant topic.
Our seminar today is themed on innovative approaches towards sustainable food production. Let us begin with the invocation song.
ഒരു കരുണതൻ ആസാരധാരകൾ ചൊരിയുമംബികെ പർജന്യദേവതേ സുരുചിരോദാര സന്താന ശാഖിയാ കരികലപ്പകൾ കാളകൾ കുപ്പമാ വരി വരിച്ചാലും കീഴിടവേ ധരണിയുൾക്കുള്ള സസ്യകലാഢ്യയാ ഹരിതരോമാഞ്ചകമ്പണാ ഭോഗയാ മനുജവിജ്ഞാന സീമാ വികാസത്തിൻ അനുസൃതമായ സൗരഭ്യസിദ്ധികൾ അവികലം ശാസ്ത്രചക്രവാളം നടി അവിടവീടെ വിതയ്ക്കുന്നു വിത്തുകൾ പുതിയ ദീപം കൊളുത്തുക നാളത്തിൽ പുതിയ ജീവൻ തുടിക്കട്ടെ നിൽക്കുമേ അരിയ സൗഭാഗ്യധാരകൾ രക്ഷയാ ക്ഷണികയാഗനീ കർഷക ക്ഷേത്രമേ അരിയ സൗഭാഗ്യധാരകൾ രക്ഷയാ ക്ഷണികയാഗനീ കർഷക ക്ഷേത്രമേ ക്ഷണികയാഗനീ കർഷക
I would like to invite Dr. Prince Semi, Professor and Head, Department of Processing and Food Engineering, for the welcome address.
Respected members on the dais, dignitaries, delegates from various institutions across the country, my faculty, my dear faculty, the staff and the students of this college, the alumni. Every year, October 16th is celebrated as the World Food Day. This is celebrated to reassure our commitment towards a hunger-free world. This year, to commemorate this event, this institute is organizing a national seminar on contemporary challenges in processing, quality and safety of food. And this seminar is being jointly organized by the Department of Processing and Food Engineering, the Kerala State Council for Science, Engineering and Technology, KSST Thiruvananthapuram, the ICAR AICRP on Post-Harvest Engineering and Technology, Tavanur, and the KCA AET Alumni Association. And we know that the food chain in India can be abbreviated by 3 A's. The first A is the availability. The second one is accessibility. And the third one is called the absorption. Now, when India got freedom in 1947, our food grain production was 50 million tons. India was seriously facing a food crisis. But then our scientists have taken the challenges and we have transformed the agriculture, scientifically changed the agriculture in India so that we can have the legal right to food. Now that after so many years, our fruit production stands at 330 million tons, which means that in a span of 7.5 decades, our fruit production has increased 6.5 times, thanks to Professor M.S. Swaminathan and team, who has left us a few weeks back for this great change that we call it as the Green Revolution. We are now not only self-sufficient in food, but we are able to export food grain to other countries. But then the problem is that we have still challenges. We have to move from what is called as Green Revolution to a eco-friendly and sustainable production technology, which we should call it as the evergreen revolution. So there are again challenges in the food production system. But when we come to accessibility of the food, it is the social economic condition of the people to have access to the food. We know that India accounts for about a quarter of the world's hungry people and home of around 190 million undernourished people. Every third child in the world who are malnourished is an Indian. And according to the World Hunger Index, our position is 111th out of the 125 countries. So food security is again a challenge. So do we have equal distribution of the food? That is a question that is to be answered. This is only one side of the coin. On other side of the coin, when half of the people in the world is starving, then another half of the section of the population is striving to lose weight. So definitely there is a problem of food security. This is another challenge which we are facing today. The third one is the absorption. Absorption of food, which means that we have to convert the food into a commodity that is suitable for human consumption. So here also in the past, somehow we have to convert the food to a palatable form which can be consumed. But over a period of change, our perception about the food processing has changed. We have a number of challenges that the food needs to be safe, food needs to be nutritious, it should be healthy, and it should meet all the standard requirements apart from the economic considerations. We know that food processing is a link between the two pillars of our economy, the agriculture and industry. Therefore, the food processing has to be improved, and the situation is so alarming in India that our post-harvest losses account to around 55,000 crores. And even though India stands high in the production of many of the commodities, most of the product is not reaching the consumer. It is getting wasted due to inadequate technological aspects and infrastructure facilities. So in these all aspect, the state of value addition in India is just below 10%, whereas Malaysia accounts for 75% of the value addition process. So it is again a challenge, the processing. So there are a number of challenges which we have to face this. And on this occasion, our role, the agricultural engineers, food scientists, microbiologists, all stakeholders have a role to play, that we have to transform our food system so that it can withstand the increasing price volatility, the climate shocks, and deliver affordable food to the consumers, which also brings decent income to all food stake workers. So this is a platform to deliberate on this, to discuss on such challenges and recommend some amicable solutions. And this is the very aim of this national seminar. So now let me pass on to my duty of welcoming the participants and all the dignitaries here. First of all, I should welcome our chief patron and our dean of the faculty, Dr. JNPR. He has been a part and parcel of this institute, and he has been a key figure in guiding us and mentoring us throughout the execution of this program and planning and organization. I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. JNPR, our Dean of the college, to this function. Dr. Sudhir KP, ex officio Principal Secretary, Science and Technology, Executive Vice President, KSST, and Professor IIT Chennai. I think his designation itself speaks volumes about his administrative and academic and research capabilities. I think I need not elaborate on this. I should use this incident to congratulate him that he has been listed as the top 2% world's most influential scientist listed by the list. So this is an opportunity, but you know, I am not an alumni of this institute, but we both are alumni of another great institute, the IIT Kharagpur. And he being one year junior to me, and I being the secretary of the Technology Kcaet Association, and we both were in the same hostel, the Lala Lajpat Rai Hall of Residence, once a Lajpatian, ever a Lajpatian we call. And I had an opportunity to interact with him when we were in the hostel. Many times I go to his room because we were very few Malayalis only in this hostel. And whenever I feel lonely, I visit him. And when I visit his hostel room, he start talking. And you may think that he may be discussing very intelligent things and all things. No. The only thing he talk about is Kcaet. In fact, I am by heart about what are the projects he has handled in Kcaet, what was his BTech project, who were his most influential teachers, the coaches are, the saviors are, what was his BTech project, what was the things he did in this campus. He knows each and every corner of. I got fed up with him. Now, when I joined this institute, I was quite aware and I was totally learned about this campus. Why? Because he has got that much immense love and affection towards this campus. I understood that. So that kind of mentality he has got, and he never hesitated to come to this institute whenever he passed through this. Whenever he get an opportunity, he make it a point to visit this college and interact with all the alumni, all the students here. So Dr. Sudhir, we are so proud to have you here. Welcome back to your alma mater. I personally and on behalf of this college welcome Dr. Sudhir KP to this campus. Engineer Roy Matthews, the Honorary Secretary of Institution of Engineers, India, Kerala State Center, and joint director. He was the joint director of Soil Conservation Department, Government of Kerala. In fact, Engineer Roy could have been retired as the SP here of Kerala cadre. He was with the Kerala police. But due to the affection of professional affection to work in his own domain, he chooses the Soil Conservation Department. And he was so vibrant engineer he was that he executed a number of projects there which captured the government's eye, and he was made deputed as the secretary of the Trivandrum district Panchayat. And in that, he has implemented a lot of welfare scheme for which has won the hearts of the people. So he's a very ardent leader and an alumni. We are so proud to have him here. Sri Roy Matthew, see, we welcome you to this campus. Engineer Uday Kumar Kcaet is here. He is a past secretary of the Institution of Engineers and engineer of the Kerala Livestock Development Board. We generally, with affection, call him Udayan Annan because he is such a friendly personality. We normally say that Udayan is the mouthpiece of agriculture engineering profession in Kerala. He is, in fact, the extension, agriculture engineer extension officer, we call him. Such a number of articles he has written with regard to agricultural and food technological aspects. So we are honored to have him here. Whenever he heard that his seminar is happening, he was ready to, always ready to come to this campus, this soil. Hearty welcome to Uday Kumarji, Uday Annan to this campus. My welcome next goes out to all the heads of the departments here. Dr. Satyan Kcaet, our former dean and head of the Department of Soil and Water Conservation Engineering Department. Dr. Emma KP, the head of the Department of Irrigation and Drainage Engineering. Dr. Josephina Paul, the head of the Department of Basic Sciences and Engineering. And the head of our, the vibrant head of our instructional farm, Dr. Abdul Jabbar. They are all here and they are all part and parcel of this seminar, and their valuable inputs and suggestions serves to better fine-tune this program to a large-scale event. Now, I think I should welcome all the alumni here. Distinguished alumni are sitting here. Just because we don't have space here, they are sitting, and most of them are the alumni of this. Most of them are my students. The engineer Suresh Appukutan is there. He is assistant professor of Amrita School of Business. Sri Engineer Dinesh K. Menon is he's the managing director of Welded Certification Company. He's also here. Engineer Dinesh K. Menon is here. All, and we have other speakers too, or yet to come. Dr. Sinija VR, and yes, they are yet to come. So we are, in fact, when I called them, for example, when I called Dinesh and Suresh, they are more than willing to come. And Suresh was telling, sir, I was looking for an opportunity to come to this college. In fact, I felt so happy that he is back here. I was so determined to bring Suresh to this campus because I know him as a student very well. So all the alumni who are all handling the technical sessions here, and many other alumni are present here. In fact, they were the very essence that made up the fabric of this college. And I'm sure that this institute stands tall on the merit of their shoulders, for they laid the foundation for what this institution stands for. So a warm welcome to all the alumni and other dignitaries and all the participants who are all the eminent scientists and academicians who are handling the technical sessions. And the delegates, today's delegates, I know that we have delegates from around the country and from across the state. And they are not just audience, they are in fact participants, and they are participating in various events organized at this institution. I welcome all the dignitaries and delegates who are participating, come from many other institutes around Kerala and outside Kerala to the soil of Kalapaji College of Agricultural Engineering and Technology. I welcome you all to this campus. May I extend my hearty welcome to my very dear faculty. I extend a hearty welcome to my colleagues, faculty here, who have been running from pillar to post to get things done, right from planning on paper to execution with perfection. A most hearty welcome to all the faculties who are toiling around for the past 2-3 weeks. So a warm welcome to the dear faculty members here. I also extend my hearty welcome to all the students and the staff of this college. They were all very much tired, I think, after the Arts Festival, University Arts Festival. We are managing with the freshers here, and so I extend a warm welcome to my dear students and other staff of this college. Lastly, what not least, it seems to be a misnomer welcoming. The next person, Mrs. Srija, are the convener for this for this program. On behalf of the college, she is the host of this program, and this is her playground. So she has been using every ounce of energy and creativity to transform this event from an ordinary seminar to a scintillating conglomeration of scientific personality and academic personalities. So a warm welcome to Srija, the convener. Yes. That's all. I thank all the organizers, Dr. Rajesh, GK, Aftab, Sudeep, PB, and all the other members too. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, let us welcome Dr. Jayan PR, Dean of Faculty, Agricultural Engineering, and Patron, Kcaet Alumni Association, for the presidential address.
കേരള സർക്കാർ ആരംഭിച്ച മാലിന്യമുക്ത നവകേരളം ക്യാമ്പയിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി എല്ലാ ഔദ്യോഗിക പരിപാടികളും ഒരു പ്രതിജ്ഞയോടുകൂടി ആരംഭിക്കേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഈ പ്രതിജ്ഞ ഏവർക്കും ചൊല്ലിക്കൊടുക്കണമെന്ന് ഡോക്ടർ ജയൻ PR, ഡീൻ ഓഫ് ഫാക്കൽറ്റി സാറിനോട് അപേക്ഷിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു. എല്ലാവരും അത് ഏറ്റു ചൊല്ലേണ്ടതാണ്.
മാലിന്യങ്ങളും പാഴ്വസ്തുക്കളും അലക്ഷ്യമായി വലിച്ചെറിഞ്ഞ് നാടും നഗരവും ജലാശയങ്ങളും വൃത്തിഹീനമാക്കുന്നത് എൻ്റെ നാടിനോട് ചെയ്യുന്ന കുറ്റകൃത്യമാണെന്ന് ഞാൻ തിരിച്ചറിയുന്നു. സംസ്കാരശൂന്യവും നിയമവിരുദ്ധവുമായ അത്തരം പ്രവൃത്തികളിൽ ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും ഏർപ്പെടുകയില്ല. അതിൻ്റെ പ്രത്യാഘാതങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച് എനിക്ക് പരിപൂർണ ബോധ്യമുണ്ട്. അതിനാൽ ചെറുതോ വലുതോ ആയ ഒരു പാഴ്വസ്തുവും ഞാൻ വലിച്ചെറിയില്ല. നിരോധിത പ്ലാസ്റ്റിക് വസ്തുക്കളൊന്നും ഉപയോഗിക്കുകയുമില്ല. ശുചിത്വത്തിനായി കൈക്കൊള്ളുന്ന എല്ലാ നടപടികളോടും ഞാൻ പൂർണ്ണമായും സഹകരിക്കും. മാലിന്യമുക്ത നവകേരളത്തിനായി നാടിനോടൊപ്പം ഞാനും ആത്മാർത്ഥമായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുമെന്ന് പ്രതിജ്ഞ ചെയ്യുന്നു. Very good morning to one and all. Our chief guest of the day, Dr. Sudhir KP, our Executive Vice President of the CST, and the overall our very important alumni of our own faculty. Then our guests, Dr. Roy Matthew, Uday Kumar, then our Dr. Jabbar, then heads of department, Dr. Satyan Kcaet, Dr. Rama, Dr. Prince, and Srimati Srija, and other alumni members, Dinesh, Suresh, and other alumni from other institutions, and also my dear colleagues, my dear students, and other young teachers of this college. It's my privilege and honor to address at this gathering as a part of this two-day national seminar on contemporary changes in processing quality and safety of food. So, as you all know, this national seminar is being organized by our college, alumni, as well as KSCST. So it's a joint program which we could convene at this college on a part of our Department of Processing and Food Engineering. See, I wish to congratulate Dr. Prince and his team for convening such a very useful seminar to our students at this occasion. And my special thanks to Srimati Srija. She is the coordinator of this program. And she has taken a lot of effort to make this event, at least at this moment. Then we are so proud that we could conduct such a 2 days national program at our campus after a long time. I think this is second or third one which is being conducted at our college. See, when this seminar came to, the proposal came from our Srija, Srimati Srija, for this conduct of this seminar, I was really tense that how we will get the fund or financial support. But I realized that she came to me with the ready reckoner support from the KSCST. So I was so happy that to accept the same. Otherwise, it becomes the duty of the dean to find out the financial support. And at this moment, I am very thankful to Dr. Sudhir KP, who has been given this financial support from his own commitment, and to the college. He has supported to us by way of giving money for this program too. So really, this program is being conducted as a part of alumni program because once the proposal came to me, I thought that we want a opportunity to have a meeting of alumni along with our students of this college. So indeed, I contacted the president, Sri Kabir, and he was not here because of his busy schedule. And thereafter, we have a series of executive committee meeting to coordinate the alumni meet along with this national seminar. And he was also very happy. And that's the reason we are combining two programs together as only for the benefit of our students and other passed out alumni members who are not having job or they have not been absorbed anywhere. So that's the main intention to do these exercises in one meet today. So dear students, especially I'm always consider these students as my own children. See, you are so lucky that you are having a very good alumni members here, senior alumni members. They're all working in high level position, that too at the policy decision makers as of today in the government level, in the other higher level. So you are having a very, very good interaction even in the afternoon session that has been programmed. See, regarding this seminar, our Dr. Prince have already explained what's the importance of the national seminar. As we know that we are all very much interested to get variety of food, variety of dishes, but we are least bothered about its quality and the safety aspects. And this era that we prefer all the new dishes rather than the conventional dishes what we are having. So naturally, there are a lot of things to be understand, a lot of regulations and the control means to be known to everyone, and it is a need of the hour. So if you consider that aspect rightly, this seminar will be very effective and very useful to all the participants of the program. I'm happy that there are about 9 institutions have already been registered for this program, and that too, many students are coming out from the other institution to have to get the knowledge out of this seminar. I'm really confident that you will be getting out of this 2-day program. These 2-day sessions, 2-day national seminar is being organized in such a way that there are 4 or 5 technical sessions, poster competition, food quiz, etc., etc. And we have taken our level best to make the 2-day event a grand success. So we are expecting that definitely this seminar will be a very good one, very effective one to all the participants who are attending this program. And coming to the alumni program today, see, our college started its journey in 2nd November 1985 onwards. So we crossed nearly 39 years. And after these 39 years, I still respect all our previous dean. From the first dean was Dr. P. Basak, till the last dean, Dr. Satyan Kcaet. So under their leadership, the college has come up to this level. No doubt on that. And see, we have struggled a lot for the last 39 years, but we could show many alumni members who are working in Kerala, in India, and abroad at higher positions. So one of the very good example is our Dr. Sudhir KP itself. As Dr. Prince pointed out, he is the world second top scientist in the world. See that important, you will realize how he's been selected out of the other scientists. That I heard that nearly 2 lakh, out of the 2 lakh researchers and 22 research areas and 179 sub areas, and out of that a worldwide selection was conducted, and that too announced by Stanford and the elsewhere publication. They have listed that our product, our college, he was a student of this college, and he became the world top 2% list. See, you realize that our capacity. Another example I want to say to the new students that our college could generate so many technologies, like the technologies in the farm machinery, processing and so on, and even soil and water conservation. We could generate as many technologies as possible. The very simple tool that all over our state and the country and abroad, the one is the Karamitra or the coconut husking tool. So likewise, we have so many examples that we can generate either by means of human resources or technological innovations. Our campus, particularly this campus, could generate. So we are proud that we are one among in this college. So I bestowed to all my previous heads of department, heads of this institution, and also I am very proud to say that our faculty is one of the important or the major faculty in Kerala Agriculture University after agriculture and forestry. So our teachers, our students always excel or coming out with grand success in everywhere they touch. At this moment, I proud to announce one more thing is that our students got the 4th place in the last University Arts Festival. So my students, they have struggled a lot for the last 2 weeks. I was with them, and throughout the day and night they struggled, and they have shown their capacities in the university level. And I'm so happy to announce that I got many messages from top officials of the university that our KCAT students are so polite, so obedient. They are the the topmost students in the university level. While hearing such news from my mobile, I'm so happy that to announce at this moment. Then Dr. Sudhir is here, and I wish to say one more thing. That my personal noting of the college dealings. See, till our election process, our students have two different colors, KSU, SFI. And very wonderful thing happened that immediately after the announcement and official posting at the students union level, there is no political color as on now. So there is no difference between the colors. They are working as one students union with one intention to promote our college activities, developmental works of our university, of our institution as a whole. So I'm really thankful to all the students because you become a model students union to all other students unions of our other faculties too. So please keep it up and please continue that we don't have any differences other than our academic, arts and sports activities. Definitely, our placement cell is also working for all the betterment of your life. See, today afternoon we have a meeting with alumni members. My only limitation I observed that we couldn't start any department, our own agriculture engineering department. That process also going, and we are taking our level best to coordinate how to make our Department of Agriculture Engineering at our own level. So of course there are a lot of limitations. So today afternoon we will have a combined, we'll have an interaction with student, alumni, and the faculties. So in that, I'm very sure that we will sort out the issues and we will find a solution to make the formation of the Department of Agriculture Engineering and that to be promoted, and we will sincerely work for that. That only the point I want to make at this point, and I wish every success for this national seminar, and also I express my heartfelt thanks to all the teachers and the young teachers who are working together for the last 2-3 days exclusively for conducting this seminar, and wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your insights have provided our audience with a well-rounded view of today's event. Next is inauguration. For the inauguration, we have Dr. Sudhir KP, KCAT alumni, ex-officio principal secretary, Science and Technology Department, and Executive Vice President, KSCST. Currently, he is listed in world's top 2% scientists list for the fourth consecutive year. This ranking is considered as the most prestigious worldwide ranking based on the bibliometric information contained in the Scopus database, includes more than 2 lakh researchers from more than 10 million scientists. He is a professor in Civil Engineering Department, IIT Madras. I am honored to invite Dr. Sudhir KP, ex-officio principal secretary, Science and Technology Department, and Executive Vice President, Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment for the inauguration. I would also like to request all the dignitaries for lighting the lamp.
Good morning, everyone. President of the function, Dr. Jain PR, Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Agricultural Engineering. My friends on the dais, off the dais, Dr. Jabbar, my dear students. It's indeed a privilege for me to come back to Tavanur. In fact, a couple of weeks back, or even a month back, when Dr. Jain called me and said, 16th October, could you mark in your calendar? We are organizing a national seminar on food technology. So I was wondering, Jain, I am not a food technologist. But then, I didn't want to lose the chance of coming to Tavanur. Prince has said it rightly, that I still believe this is the campus where I have grown up. I started my professional training, and wherever I am today, it's because of the training I've got here. And I owe a lot to the campus. And then that is the reason I said, Jain, though it's not my area, I have not worked in food technology or food processing at all, but still, I don't want to lose this opportunity to come to the campus, and then I planned it accordingly. Well, Prince has told several things about the life at IIT Kharagpur and Tavanur. More things left is what he says. See, one of the things I think the young students here should notice is, I'll come to the business a little later, right? I wanted to say a few things to the students. You should actually notice that the kind of exposure you are getting to different kinds of or types of opportunities in life. I guess all my friends here who are alumnus of this college would agree with me that the advantage of the campus is the closed community with maybe when we were students, it was only 100. Now it may be close to 200 or 300. The day-to-day interaction with each of you, the day-to-day interaction with your peers, it makes a lot of learning in your life. In fact, I still believe if a KCATian is put in a place where there are a lot of challenges, along with others, I'm pretty sure that the Kcaet will come up and say that no, I could solve the challenge or face the challenge. That is the kind of exposure we have all gone through, and I'm pretty sure that all of us will agree with that. Well, we get diversed into different professions, different lives, but then the belongingness is still there in our mind. And that should be the way you should also be looking forward for when you go out, get into different levels and positions and different field of your life, you should actually come back to Tavanur and pass it on to the next generation so that they get motivated to continue their life after the KCAT. I'll come back to the business. I just wanted to say this before I go to the business. So as I said in the beginning, it is written as inauguration and keynote address. I'm not an expert to give a keynote address. I have made an anticipatory bail already that I will not give a keynote. I'll just speak a few things. The theme which is mentioned in the brochure for this seminar or the national program is contemporary challenges in food processing, quality and safety. It's good that the national seminar, I don't know whether it is a coincidence or a planned one, it coincides with the World Food Day, which is to be celebrated. I think it's getting celebrated across the country on a larger scale. Several institutions are celebrating the World Food Day today. And Dr. Prince has already mentioned about the challenges we had in terms of food production and the food availability for the country, which could be solved by a group of scientists led by M.S. Swaminathan, we are now at a safer position. But now, when you look at the contemporary challenges, I would say it is not in the processing. Because processing technologies are available in abundance. Primarily, the technologies which are developed elsewhere cannot be directly applied here, so we may have to a little bit tweak and indigenize it. But where actually the challenge lies is there is a big gap between academia and the industry. There are a lot of research happening in the academic and research institutions. And not many of them get translated into an industrial partnership or an industrial unit. We were discussing yesterday about the kind of processing technology developed here, the kind of harvesting technology developed here. And several of them still lie in the laboratory. Needs to be taken out. So I guess all of you should actually work towards the industrialization of all your technologies so that the technology gets transferred to the right way and the common man gets benefited by that. Kerala is very, very conducive for entrepreneurship. We have encouraged startups. We are still encouraging startups by giving funds for developing their own unit. But still, I would say our technology innovations and interventions are still not reaching the technology readiness level, which is at the highest level, which can be directly taken care of or accepted by the industry. We leave it at TRL 1 or to a maximum of TRL 5, not beyond that. So when you do an innovative idea or develop an innovative technology, can it be for food processing or any other? What you should also look at is, how do I make it to transfer this technology to the industry so that the industry will take care of it from there and it gets, finally, why are we doing all these things? Finally, for the benefit of the society. And the society should get benefited by all these things. Kerala is considered to be an educational hub. So in terms of knowledge generation or in terms of knowledge innovation, there is no state at par with Kerala. Give you a few statistics. We have 15 universities. We have 20 centrally funded institutions, all spread across Kerala. We have Kerala's own, which is under the KCST, which I represent, 9 R&D centers, research and development centers, which were established by visionary leaders in 50 years back. 1970s, these institutions were established. And they're envisioned, these are the kind of requirement for Kerala in future. Now, all these institutions work towards solving problems which are local and solving or finding out a solution through research. Some of them gets implemented, some of them gets shelved. Do you know the number of PhDs produced per India? I mean, in a year in India? Indian universities, all of them put together, produces around 25,000 PhDs a year. It's a big number. But then, what happens to all these PhDs? They will just remain as a thesis. Most of them, hardly 1 or 2% gets next level, but then all of them are lying as an academic exercise. That should be changed. Why is most modern countries like Europe and USA getting into research and innovations more and more? Because their problem for PhD, they select a problem for PhD, which is either an industrial problem or a problem which is faced by the society. And they try to develop an innovative solution. It's not an out-of-book solution. They come up with an innovative solution that can be implemented on field, and most of them gets implemented on the field. If it is an industrial problem, they get implemented on the field. Simple problems are solved through technologies, and that is why the recognition for other countries are much higher than our country's PhD. Still, we continue to do PhD. We are actually good in projecting numbers. We are good in number games. That should get changed. When you do a PhD or any kind of research development, it should be accepted by a community or an industry so that, well, there is some development happening in this field and I go and take care of it. The other question which I wanted to mention, primarily to the university authorities, is when we produce large number of students as graduates or postgraduates or PhDs, we should actually critically look at, are we training them enough? Are they ready to be employed by an industry or an organization so that the next day they can start their work? I don't want to say anything beyond this because that's a question which always remains on my mind, because when I sit through different interviews, interviewing candidates for several positions, this question comes to my mind that are they trained enough? It's not their problem, the candidate's problem or the student's problem. It's basically the institution or the management who has to take care of training them, make it ready. I mean, as we say, the product has to be technology readiness level 9 or 10 or whatever beyond that. We should also make sure that our students are graduated with a readiness level to start their career in the industry. The other point which I wanted to mention is, I don't want to extend long. One of the industries which are booming these days is the food industries. There's no question about it. But then, who is actually controlling all these food industries? Who are the major players? Now you go with a technology which is developed by the Kerala Agriculture University or the Kalapiji College and go to, let's say, for Nestle or Cadbury. Will you be able to convince them that your technology will help them get more profit? That is the only question they are going to ask you. The moment if I were in an industry, the moment I have to accept an innovation to myself or my industry, I'm a businessman. I would certainly look at how much I invest, what is the return I am going to get. So if you have developed a technology and if it is lying with yourself, there is something wrong with that. Why is an industry not able to accept that and then take care of it and in the industry implement it? It could be for elongating or increasing the storageability of a food product. Are we doing that? They themselves have different kinds of research, but in that process what happens is some of the chemicals are getting added for preservation. Now we still try to go and say that no, we do not have chemicals added to the food. It's a natural preservative. How long it will get stocked? That's a question industry is going to ask you. So these are the challenges which we are now facing in terms of food processing. The shell life of a product has to be increased. Yesterday I was talking to, I think, one of your faculty. Moisture content is a major problem in all the product, which reduces the shell life. Now, but can we dry everything and then keep it? Which is also not an appropriate solution. So these challenges we need to think. You have to think beyond your box. You have to think laterally and come up with solutions. And if you are able to develop such technologies, I'm pretty sure that all these industries will buy the technology and implement it. Food industry is where I think basically it is gearing towards. Prince mentioned about when half of the universe or the globe is starving, the other half is trying to reduce the weight, primarily to reduce the consumption. And then I have a difference in opinion with that, because it's not, the weight gain is not because of the food intake alone. If you look at the lifestyle is totally different, and then probably that is one of the reasons for the increase in weight. Most of us now sit at office from morning till evening, and we don't do any exercise. That could be, set it apart. But then my question is, when somebody wants to reduce the weight, they primarily presume that the consumption has to be reduced. The food consumption has to be reduced. They do a lot of things, yoga and other things and all, but then the food consumption is much, much less than what the earlier people used to do. Where are we heading to? We are heading to, and the research has already started happening, we are heading to getting into nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals is basically supplement, nutrient supplement. And now you will say, I wanted to. I mean, for the young generation, down 5 years, I foresee that your breakfast will be in terms of, let's say I wanted to have 10 calories for today, and then there will be a prescription for that, and you will have the tablets. You will not be worried about your idli, dosha, puttu, upma and all those things anymore. You will start eating nutraceutical tablets. And this is where we are heading to. I don't know whether it is a good direction or a bad direction, but then that is where we are trying to. Government of Kerala is establishing a center of excellence in nutraceuticals, which we are going to establish. Maybe like the process is over, and maybe in a month's time the institute will get started. When this file came, I also had the same impression. Are we actually doing right? But then we have to flow along the water, and if that is what everybody is looking forward to, our advantage is for the nutraceuticals, the raw materials are abundantly available in Kerala. So if at all there is a nutraceutical industry coming up in larger scale, probably there is a lot of scope for processing the raw material and developing the nutraceutical capsules or whatever you want to develop. And that is one of the reasons. So we didn't want to lose the chance, and then that is the reason we agreed that, okay, we will start nutraceuticals. Center of Excellence in Nutraceuticals primarily will do a research for the raw material and what are the kind of components we can extract from that, and then try to make it as a product. So we are now heading towards a situation where food is going to be a major, I will not say concern, but the major item for discussion and research. And that is an item where it's going to be an interdisciplinary aspect. You cannot, food engineers are interdisciplinary engineers. Agricultural engineers are interdisciplinary engineers. It's not an independent engineering. Earlier, we were all doing research in silos. Now, the research has become interdisciplinary, and you need to do a lot of compromise on solutions and then come up with a idea that can be marketed. And marketing is what is now lacking. Our all research and development still lie either in the bookshelf or in the form of thesis or in the laboratory, is because we are not interested in, or we are not trained for marketing those technologies. So I would urge the budding engineers and the delegates who have come here today, 2 days of deliberations will happen on challenges, safety, and other aspects of food, processing of food. Don't forget the deliberations message, whatever you are getting in the next 2 days. Go back to your institute, respective institutes, go back and try to see what best you can do to contribute to the challenges we have identified in the next 2 days. And I'm pretty sure that you are the future of the country. but it got disturbed. We didn't follow that. And instead what we have done is, we started tweaking the nature, disturbing the nature for our own comfort. And now, we, in a way that the community, not I or you, our earlier generation started doing all these things. Now we are the people who are getting affected by that. We call it as global warming, extreme weather conditions, all those things. But then, next generation is going to face the other consequences which we are making now. Overnight, you cannot solve this problem, but then just keep in mind that when you disturb the nature, it's not going to affect you yourself directly, but then your next generation or the next generation is going to get affected by that. So food and nature go together. So let us plan all our activities, including your academy and research and industrial practices towards a sustainable development for the entire country. Thank you. I wish all the best for this seminar for 2 days.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words of wisdom. Next, we move on with felicitation. For the word of felicitation, I would like to call Sri Roy Matthew, Honorary Secretary, Institution of Engineers, India and Kerala State Center. Over to you, sir.
എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. വേദിയിൽ ഉള്ള കോളേജിന്റെ ഡീൻ ജയൻ PR, സത്യൻ KK, ഡോക്ടർ സത്യൻ KK, ഡോക്ടർ രമ, ഇതിന്റെ ഇനോഗ്രേഷൻ നടത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള എൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ്മേറ്റ് കൂടിയായിട്ടുള്ള ഡോക്ടർ സുധീർ KP, മറ്റ് പ്രമുഖ വ്യക്തികളെ, വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ, ഇന്ന് ഈ യോഗത്തിലേക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ സെമിനാറിലേക്ക് എന്നെ ക്ഷണിച്ചതിനുള്ള നന്ദി ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി തന്നെ അറിയിക്കട്ടെ. ഇനി പ്രോഗ്രാം സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത് നേരത്തെ ഉദ്ഘാടകൻ പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി ലോക ഭക്ഷ്യ ദിനവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടുള്ള സെമിനാറാണ് ഇന്ന് സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതിന്റെ മെയിൻ തീം ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ടുള്ളത് ജലം ജീവനാണ്, ജലം ഭക്ഷണമാണ് എന്ന ആശയത്തിൽ ഊന്നിയുള്ള ഒരു ദിനാചരണമാണ് ലോക ഭക്ഷ്യദിനമായി നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് ആചരിക്കുന്നത്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഏവർക്കും അറിയാം, ലോകത്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ തന്നെ മുഴുവൻ ജനങ്ങൾക്കും ഭക്ഷണം നൽകാൻ നമുക്ക് കഴിയുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ള സത്യം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഏവർക്കും അറിയാവുന്നതാണ്. ഈ ദിനവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പ്രധാന മുദ്രാവാക്യം ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, എല്ലാവർക്കും പോഷക സമൃദ്ധമായ ഭക്ഷണം എത്തിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത് തന്നെയാണ് അതിന്റെ ആവശ്യകത. അതുകൊണ്ട് അത്തരത്തിൽ ഭക്ഷണം ലഭ്യമല്ലാതെ വരുന്നത് കൊണ്ടുള്ള പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് എന്ന് അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. അതായത് അതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടുള്ള പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ, സെമിനാറുകൾ, അതുപോലുള്ള പരിപാടികൾ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുകയാണ് ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ ലോക ഭക്ഷ്യദിനവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് നടത്തുന്നത്. ഞാൻ എന്തായാലും ഈ സബ്ജക്റ്റിലേക്ക് കൂടുതൽ കടക്കുന്നില്ല. കാര്യം ഇതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഇതിന്റെ ക്വാളിറ്റിയും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫുഡിന്റെ ക്വാളിറ്റി, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പ്രോസസ്സിംഗ് സൈഡ്, അതിന്റെ സേഫ്റ്റിയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് 3 പ്രധാന സ്പീക്കേഴ്സ് വരുന്ന 2 ദിവസങ്ങൾ സംസാരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ അതിലേക്ക് കടക്കുന്നില്ല. പക്ഷെ 1-2 കാര്യങ്ങൾ മാത്രം ഞാൻ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കാം. കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ് ഒരു ഡേ സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചു. അതായത് ഈ ഒക്ടോബർ 14-ാം തീയതി വേൾഡ് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ഡേ ആയിരുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിൽ വരുന്നത് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡുകളുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടുള്ള ഒരു തീമായിരിക്കും ഈ വേൾഡ് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ഡേയിൽ വരിക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. എന്നാൽ നിങ്ങൾ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യം, അന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ തീമായിട്ട് എടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത് ഷെയർഡ് വിഷൻ ഫോർ ബെറ്റർ വേൾഡ് ഇൻകോപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് SDG 3, that is സസ്റ്റൈനബിൾ ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് ഗോൾ 3 എന്നുള്ളത് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഫോർ ഗുഡ് ഹെൽത്ത് ആൻഡ് വെൽ ബീയിങ് എന്നുള്ളതായിരുന്നു സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ഡേയുടെ മുദ്രാവാക്യം. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഞാനിത് പറഞ്ഞത് ഗുഡ് ഹെൽത്തിനും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വെൽ ബീയിങ്ങിനും വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് എന്തിനുണ്ട്? ഈ പറയുന്ന ഷെയർഡ് വിഷൻ ഫോർ ബെറ്റർ വേൾഡ്, ബെറ്റർ വേൾഡുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് വരുമ്പോൾ ഈ ഹെൽത്തും വെൽബീയിങ്ങും ഒഴിവാക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ ടെക്നോളജി എത്ര വികാസം പ്രാപിച്ചാലും അതിന് പ്രാധാന്യമില്ല എന്ന് തെളിയിക്കുന്നതാണ് ആ മുദ്രാവാക്യത്തിന്റെ പ്രാധാന്യം. അതാണ് ഞാൻ അത് പറയാൻ മാത്രമാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇത്തരത്തിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഇന്നിവിടെ സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ഈ സെമിനാർ ഇത് കണ്ടംപററി ചലഞ്ചസ് ഇൻ പ്രോസസിംഗ് ക്വാളിറ്റി ആൻഡ് സേഫ്റ്റി ഓഫ് ഫുഡ്. ഇത് സ്വാഭാവികമായും കേരളത്തെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഏവർക്കും അറിയാം, എന്റെ മുമ്പിലിരിക്കുന്നത് അഗ്രി എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് മാത്രമല്ല, ഫുഡ് ടെക്നോളജി സ്റ്റുഡൻസും ഉണ്ട്. കേരളത്തിൽ ഫുഡുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട്, ക്വാളിറ്റിയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടും സേഫ്റ്റിയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടും നടന്നു വരുന്ന പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങൾ പത്രമാധ്യമങ്ങളിൽ കൂടി നിങ്ങൾ വായിച്ചറിയുന്നുണ്ടാവും. സ്വാഭാവികമായും നിങ്ങളുടെ മുമ്പിൽ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഫുഡ് ടെക്നോളജിയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഇന്നിവിടെ ബിടെക് ചെയ്യുന്ന കുട്ടികളെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു ടോപ്പിക്കാണിത്. ഇതിൽ നിങ്ങൾ വളരെ ശ്രദ്ധ കേന്ദ്രീകരിക്കുക. അതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ജനകീയമായ വിഷയങ്ങളിൽ നിങ്ങൾ കുട്ടികളായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ ഇത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഇടപെടുകൂടി വേണം. അതിന് ഒത്തിരിയേറെ മാധ്യമങ്ങളുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിപ്പം ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ നിൽക്കുന്നു. ഇതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടുള്ള നിരവധി സംഘടനകളുണ്ട്. ഇതുമായി നിങ്ങൾ കുട്ടികളായി സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആയി ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ അതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെടുകയും അത്തരം പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിൽ ഏർപ്പെടുകയും ചെയ്യുക എന്ന് നിങ്ങളോടൊന്ന് റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം കൂടി നിങ്ങളെ അറിയിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു. പ്രധാനമായും ഞാനിന്ന് വന്നത് ഇതിനാണ്. ഈ വരുന്ന ഒക്ടോബർ 25, 26 തീയതികളിൽ തിരുവനന്തപുരം ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ് കേരള സ്റ്റേറ്റ് സെന്ററിൽ വെച്ച് ഒരു 2-day ഓൾ ഇന്ത്യ സെമിനാർ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതിന്റെ വിഷയം പ്രോസസിംഗ് ആൻഡ് വാല്യൂ അഡീഷൻ ഇൻ അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഫോർ ഇൻക്രീസിംഗ് ഫാമേഴ്സ് ഇൻകം ആൻഡ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഇതിന്റെ വിഷയമായി എടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. 2 ദിവസമായി നടക്കുന്ന സെമിനാറുകളിൽ ലീഡ് പേപ്പേഴ്സ് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട സയന്റിസ്റ്റുകളും ഒക്കെ തന്നെ ഉണ്ട്. അതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളുടെ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇൻവൈറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. വളരെ മുമ്പ് തന്നെ ഈ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് ഈ വിവരം ഞങ്ങൾ അറിയിച്ചിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയത് ഡീൻ അത് അടുത്ത ദിവസം തന്നെ നോട്ടീസ് ബോർഡുകളൊക്കെ തന്നെ വഴി നിങ്ങളെ അറിയിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. നിർഭാഗ്യവശാൽ ഒരു പേപ്പർ പോലും നിങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഗത്തു നിന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ലഭ്യമായിട്ടില്ല എന്നുള്ള വിവരം അറിയിക്കേണ്ടി വരുന്നത് വളരെ ഖേദകരമാണ്. ഇനി ഒരാഴ്ച കൂടിയാണുള്ളത്. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഫൈനൽ ഇയർ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ്, PG സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ഉള്ളവര് നിങ്ങൾ ഓറലായിട്ടോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പോസ്റ്റർ പ്രസന്റേഷൻ ആയിട്ടോ ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ള വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ അടിയന്തരമായിട്ട് പേപ്പേഴ്സ് അയച്ചു തരണം. ആ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് അയച്ചു തരണം എന്നുകൂടി അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നതിനായിട്ട് ക്ഷണിച്ച ഈ കോളേജിലെ ഡീനെയും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇതിന്റെ സംഘാടകരെയും ഒന്നുകൂടി നന്ദി അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ വാക്കുകളിൽ നിന്ന് വിരമിക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി.
Thank you, sir, for enriching our event with your informative talk. Next, I invite Dr. Satyan Kcaet, Professor and Head, Department of SWCE, for the words of felicitation.
Good morning, everybody. President of this function, Dr. Jayan PR, and also the Dean of this college, and Dr. Sudhir KP, our chief guest, and Principal Secretary to the Department of Science and Technology, and also the Executive Vice President of Kcaet, and other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, dear faculty members, dear alumni members of Kcaet, and most dear delegates and participants to this 2-day seminar, and my dear students and dear friends. It's a great privilege and honor for me to address this gathering. Kcaet has organized 2-day seminar on food processing, value addition, to commemorate the World Food Day on August 16th. So on this occasion, first of all, let me congratulate Dr. Prince and his team for rightly choosing this day and for rightly organizing this 2-day seminar to commemorate the World Food Day. So many people spoke here. Already the experts in this field, especially Dr. Prince and our Dean and also Dr. Sudhir KP, all of them spoke about the importance of food processing and its value, food processing and value addition, and the importance of quality and safety standards in food industry. I don't have to much add in this field. As Dr. Sudhir also pointed out, I am not an expert in this food technology or food engineering field. What I have is, basically I am an agricultural engineer and I have learned a few number of food post-harvest engineering courses many years back, around 35, more than 35 years back. So that was only my background. My formal background in food engineering is that only. And later on became a faculty of this college. So quite naturally, we get some sort of association with the food engineering people and we learn something. Anyway, there is no doubt that food processing is a very emerging industry and very emerging academic area. There is no doubt in that. Already many people spoke about that also. It's not a mere leap exercise. At the same time, though it's an emerging field, we are not coming up to the mark or we are not moving with the trend. So in many areas, that is the case in India, we are always lagging behind. Any aspect you take, we were once upon a time, India or the Indians were the world leaders in any aspect, whether in literary field or in mathematics or in science, we were the top leaders in the world. But over a period of time, something happened and we lagged behind in many of the areas, especially in science and technology. So as a result, in the food science and technology also, there is no doubt that we are lagging behind. Already Dr. Prince said that in India, we are doing value addition to the tune of about 10%, whereas a country like Malaysia and Philippines, they are doing to the tune of 60%. So you see the difference. A country like Malaysia, a country like Philippines, they are not so technologically advanced, but still they are doing it. At the same time, you take the potential of India to play in the field of food processing and industry. We have huge land area, we have huge population, we have a good number of resources to produce food, everything we have, but still we are, as I told, there is a large gap in that. But slowly we are picking up because the private industries have gone into this business in a big way in the last few years. There are typical examples. You take any major industries, industrial group, it's not industry, industrial group like Reliance and Birla and Tata, and many majority of the good industrial groups have ventured into food processing field. And take the example of our Yusuf Ali, the Kerala industrial Yusuf Ali. He has invested, you know, the kind of investment in the last 5 years Mr. Yusuf Ali has made in India. Do you have, maybe majority of this audience will be related to food, science and technology people. But have you ever thought of the Keralite industrialist Yusuf Ali is doing in the food engineering field? More than in the last 2 years, he has invested more than 5,000 crores of rupees in the state of Uttar Pradesh. At the same time, he is little hesitant to come to Kerala because you yourself know the reasons. We are every aspect we are advanced. At the same time, we do have certain unfriendly environment for the industries to come up. That I don't have to explain. You yourself must be knowing. Not in terms of economy, not in terms of any other thing, not in terms of technology also, but there are some other aspects. But now our government and the majority of our technocrats also have identified this, and slowly we Kerala also will be growing up in this area. So understand the kind of investment a Keralite industrialist is doing, and the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, you know, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is the best friend of our Yusuf Ali. And they used to walk putting hands on the shoulders also. That is a kind of respect that many of the chief ministers of other states are giving to industrialists in Kerala who are investing in food industries. So now, as a researchers, many of you are in the academia now, and some of you want to pursue research in food technology and food engineering fields. But what you have to see that our research should have good association or good linkage with industries. Otherwise, they cannot sustain. many of our research organizations could not perform well because in India, especially in India, we were not having a good link with industries. What is the requirement of the industry we should know, and we need to plan our research in that line. Many a time that is lacking. So my small advice to the young participants of this seminar is you make your research so that you will be able to contribute something to the upcoming industries. Then only that research will have value. So to get an idea on that, you always read a lot. You make your reading in a larger perspective, not only your textbook and other things, so that you will get an idea what is lacking, where is the gap, and also try to have good interaction with industries. Maybe you yourself you yourself cannot be able to do it, but your institutions will be very well will be able to make a good link between the academia and the industries. Your management of your institutions will be able to do a lot in that regard. So I'm not taking much of time. Let me hope that these 2 days deliberations on the challenges in food processing and value addition, you will be able to find solutions to at least some of the challenges being faced by Kerala and India as a whole. And also, let me wish that this seminar will come up with good presentations, good papers, and a good compendium at the end of it. With these few words, once again, let me wish every success for this seminar, and let me conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your noble thoughts. Next, for the word of felicitation, I would like to call Dr. Rema KP, Professor and Head of Department of IDE. Over to you, ma'am.
Respected Dean of Faculty, Dr. JNPR, distinguished chief guest, and my own dear brother and our prestigious alumni, Dr. Sudhir KP. Of course, I would like to call him as my brother. And our prestigious alumni members on the dais, Sri Roy Matthew, Sri Uday Kumar, and our prestigious alumni, Suresh Apkutan, Shivaji, and many others of the dais, the faculty and students who have come from other institutions, the heads of departments and heads of other sections on the dais, all the faculty of the college, and my dear students. It's a matter of great pleasure to me to be a part of this World Food Day celebrations organized by the Department of Processing and Food Engineering in the college, joining hands with the Alumni Association, the KCST, the ASCRP on PhD, and of course, all the alumni members have come over here to join with us on this occasion. We know the World Food Day is celebrated on the occasion of the birthday of Food and Agriculture Organization, which was started way back in 1945. Ever since the FAO was initiated, FAO and all the nations are striving hard to ensure food security and sustainability in food production in all the sectors related to food. But still, we understand that there is a gap between the requirement of production, which is to be fed to the growing population, whereas what is being produced. We live in a world where we face a lot of challenges in the food sector. Of course, the seminar has got a prime theme on contemporary challenges in processing, quality, and safety of food. Of course, we all are not sure. We are all hesitant on what we are getting before on our dining tables when we go outside for hotels or when we take our food from our own home. We are not sure about the quality and safety of the products which we use, the raw materials that we use to make our food. We are not sure of the quality of the vegetable, the fruit, the egg, or any grain or millet, whatever be it, that we are purchasing from the outside market. That much, to an extent, there is adulteration in food industry nowadays. And we know there are a lot of health visitors, health inspectors and all in the background. But whenever there is an episode of food quality issue, then only we see that some check is going on. There is no regular regulatory measures to ensure the quality of food materials that is supplied from outside, as well as the raw materials that we purchase for making of food. So that is a great challenge in the food sector, and I think there is a saying that the most sacred thing that a human being can do is to feed at least a hungry stomach. We say Annadanam Mahadanam in the parayum. That is the challenge. We have to ensure food security to every individual in the country. Though many of us are having 3 or 4 times meals on a day, there are many people, thousands of people who are starving their night or starving and going to bed without even a meal on a day. So there is a great challenge in the food sector, which all the professionals in the food engineering sector or food science sector have to join hands to and collaborate and work to achieve sustainability in quality as well as in quantity terms. We are not meeting the required quantity and we are not sure of the quality of the food materials that we are getting. So that is the greatest challenge that we are facing. And I hope the seminar and its technical sessions will throw light on the various aspects of food quality and safety and even post-harvest technology of food materials, all that in the coming 2 days. And it is a great thing that the Department of Processing and Food Engineering could organize a national seminar on, particularly on the World Food Day, and could join hands with KCST and Alumni Association. So we have a very good AICRP running in our college in processing sector, and we have seen the developments in the value chain of cocoa processing. Even the company of Cadbury had taken up the technology, I understand. And Dr. Rajesh is leading that, and under the leadership of Dr. Prince, and with collaboration with Srija also. And there is a lot of technologies developed and incubated here in our college, and we have a great role to play to transfer all this technology to the outside world. And we hope the deliberations going on in the coming days will give an insight on the importance of food security and the importance of food safety, and give a slight hope or ray of hope to all of us who are hesitant to take food from outside nowadays. So I thank the delegates of this seminar for having given me an opportunity to speak on this occasion, to felicitate this occasion. And I also wish all success for this program, and also wish all success for the alumni meet and alumni get together going to happen today evening. I'm so happy to see all our alumni here and in collaboration with the seminar. So I wish all success for this seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words. Next, I invite Dr. Abdul Jabbar, Head Instructional from Kcaet, for the words of felicitation.
Most beloved Dr. Jayan sir, Dean of Faculty, most respected Dr. Sudhir sir, Dr. Prince sir, Dr. Emma madam, Dr. Satyan sir, other dignitaries on the dais, invited experts, esteemed participants, and my dear beloved students. While analyzing the food sector of Kerala, especially the food processing sector, the State Planning Board has analyzed 2 major challenges, that is lack of product development and innovation, then inadequate focus on quality and safety standards. In the light of these major 2 challenges, the seminar being held in this Kcaet campus assumes greater significance, and it has been the need of the hour. Then in this context, a widely discussed term is inclusive value chain development. This inclusive value chain development is a much discussed process in the food processing sector. The need of the hour is a multi-stakeholder platform that is absent nowadays within the district and in Kerala. So, for materializing the multi-stakeholder platforms, in agriculture extension, there's a particular term called innovation brokering. That is, all the experts and the scientists and different stakeholders have to achieve the skill of innovation brokering. So the innovation capacity is also important. The innovation capacity, it is told, is the capacity of researchers, development programs, effective linkages, and information flows among public and private partnerships and the policy environment. And I am sure that the deliberations of this national seminar will help in building a strong ecosystem for making innovation and startups and help in co-evolution of innovation that is mostly discussed nowadays. Being a district having the maximum number of non-resident Indians in Kerala, this district is suffering for the last few years due to the post-COVID supply chain disruptions. So in this context, I need to say that these two special geographic systems within Malappuram, that is the 200 acres land of lotus and 250 acres of betel vine. We need to remind that betel vine is having the GA status. And for the last 1 year, I am after this capacity building of betel vine farmers. And I am after the IIT Gorakhpur for getting a technology for production of betel leaf essential oil. If the technology is brought within the district for the production of betel leaf essential oil, the present prices of the betel leaf farmers will be vanished forever. So I think by the next year, before the next seminar is conducted, we should have two targets in front of us. One thing, the capacity building of lotus farmers with one product. The second thing, the capacity building of betel leaf farmers with the technology available from IIT Gorakhpur. And the instructional farm is all set to tap the output of the national seminar being conducted here. And I understand that the instructional farm is going to be the first beneficiary of this national program. And I'm sure that we all are getting a feeling of belongingness in Kcaet. Probably I am the non-engineer on the dais, and it's a very great learning environment for me. And each day I am learning from all of us, all of you. And thank you for this great opportunity, and wish this seminar all success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, for the word of felicitation, I would like to call upon Uday Kumar KS, sir, Kcaet alumni, Assistant Manager, Agricultural Engineering, Kerala Livestock Development Board, for the word of felicitation. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. വേദിയിലും സദസ്സിലുമുള്ള എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ നമസ്കാരം. ഞാൻ 2 ടേമിലായി ആണ് കെസിഐടിയിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തവനൂരിൽ പഠിച്ചത്. 80 മുതൽ 83 വരെയും 83 മുതൽ 92 വരെയും. അതിൽ തന്നെ പല സമയത്തും ഞാനിവിടെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, പല മുഖങ്ങളിൽ. ഇവിടെയുള്ള എല്ലാവരും, ഇപ്പൊ ഇരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവരും ഏകദേശം എനിക്ക് പരിചിതരാണ്, പഴയ ആൾക്കാർ. പുതിയവരെ മാത്രമേ എനിക്ക് നന്നായിട്ട് അറിയാൻ പറ്റാത്തതുള്ളൂ. ഇതിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ രസകരമായ കാര്യം, ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഡയസിലേക്ക് നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ ഏകദേശം 70% പെൺകുട്ടികളാണ്, സ്ത്രീകളാണ്. സന്തോഷം തോന്നി എനിക്ക്. ഇനി അടുത്ത ഒരു സെമിനാർ വരുമ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു 70% സ്ത്രീകൾ ഇരിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു. ഇപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ 2 പേരേ ഉള്ളൂ. മറ്റൊരു കാര്യം, ഇനിയിപ്പോ സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് പ്രാതിനിധ്യം വളരെയധികം കൂടുകയാണ്. കേന്ദ്ര ഗവൺമെന്റ് നിയമമൊക്കെ മാറ്റി വരുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാ ഭരണവും സ്ത്രീകൾ ഏറ്റെടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു അവസരത്തിലേക്ക് വരുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് വളരെ സന്തോഷം തരുന്നൊരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ആലോചിക്കുന്നത്, ഈ ഒരു വിഷയം, വാല്യൂ അഡീഷനുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട വിഷയം ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യുന്നതും സ്ത്രീകൾ തന്നെയാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ സുധീർ എൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വേണ്ടപ്പെട്ട ഒരു സുഹൃത്താണ്. അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു വാല്യൂ അഡീഷനെ കുറിച്ച് എനിക്കൊന്നും അറിയില്ല എന്ന്. ഇന്നലെയും കൂടെ പുള്ളി അച്ചാർ കഴിച്ചിട്ടാണ് വന്നത് ഇങ്ങോട്ട്, ഞങ്ങൾ ഹോട്ടലിൽ ഇരുന്നപ്പോൾ. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ആലോചിച്ചു, എല്ലാ ദിവസവും നമ്മൾ വാല്യൂ അഡീഷന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു വസ്തു കഴിച്ചിട്ടാണ് വരുന്നത്. അപ്പോ ഇത് ഒരു പുതിയ സംരംഭമല്ല. ഇപ്പോ നമുക്ക് ആകപ്പാടെ Kcaet എടുത്തു പറയാൻ പറ്റുന്ന സാധനം ജിപ്പു സാറും ജോബി ബാസ്റ്റിനും കൂടി കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച ആ പാരയാണ്. നമുക്ക് എവിടെ പോയാലും എടുത്തു പൊക്കി കാണിക്കാവുന്നത് ആ പാരയാണ്. CP സാർ ഒരു ദിവസം പറഞ്ഞു, നമ്മളെ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിനേക്കാൾ ഉയരത്തിലൊരു പാര നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടാക്കി വെക്കണമെന്ന് CP സാർ പലപ്പോഴും പറയാറുണ്ട്. എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര രസമായിട്ട് തോന്നി. ഇന്നലെ രാജേഷ് എന്നോട് പറയുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് പലതും ഉണ്ടാക്കി വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, പക്ഷേ എന്താ പറയുക, പരീക്ഷണശാലയിൽ നിന്ന് പാടത്തേക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ജനങ്ങളുടെ ഇടയിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്നില്ല എന്ന്. സത്യം തന്നെയാണ്. എന്തുകൊണ്ടെന്നാൽ ഓട്ടോമൊബൈൽ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസിന്റെ അത്ര വികസിച്ചിട്ടില്ല നമ്മുടെ കാർഷിക എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് വിപണികളൊന്നും. MS സ്വാമിനാഥനെ കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു, നമുക്ക് അന്നവും പട്ടിണിയും മാറ്റിയ മഹാരഥൻ. നമ്മൾ കാണാതെ പോകുന്ന ഒരാളുണ്ട്, മൈക്കിൾ സാറിനെ കുറിച്ച്. IRI ഡയറക്ടർ മൈക്കിൾ സാർ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, സ്വാമിനാഥൻ സാർ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വന്നത് മൈക്കിൾ സാറാണ്. മൈക്കിൾ സാറിനെ നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും മറന്നു പോവുകയാണ് ബുക്കിൽ കൂടി. മൈക്കിൾ സാർ കേരളത്തിലാണോ മലയാളിയാണോ എന്ന് അറിയാൻ പാടില്ലാത്ത എത്രയോ പേർ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ കാണുമെന്നറിയാവോ. നമ്മൾ മറന്നു പോകുന്നതാണ്. നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടത്, ഞാൻ ഡീനിനെയും കൂടി ഇരുത്തി ഞാൻ പറയുകയാണ്, നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ അലുമിന എവിടെയൊക്കെ നിൽക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് ഒന്ന് സൈറ്റിലൊന്ന് അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്താൽ കൊള്ളാം. എവിടെയൊക്കെ ഇപ്പോഴും ഇവിടുന്ന് Kcaet നിന്ന് പഠിച്ചിറങ്ങിയ ആൾക്കാർ എവിടെയൊക്കെ നിൽക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് ഒന്ന് ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് ചെയ്താൽ നല്ലതായിരിക്കും. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, ഇസാഫ് ബാങ്ക് ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു പുതിയ ബാങ്കാണ്. ഇസാഫ് ബാങ്കിന്റെ പോൾ തോമസ് 80 മുതൽ 83 വരെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരുമിച്ച് പഠിച്ചവരാണ്. 2 കോഴ്സാണെന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. അദ്ദേഹമാണ് ഇസാഫ് ബാങ്കിന്റെ ചെയർമാൻ. IAS കിട്ടിയ റീതു, ശ്രീമാൻ സുധീർ KP, ബേബി വർഗീസ്, ഇതുപോലെ എത്രയോ പേര്, റോയ് മാത്യു, എത്രയോ പേര് വിവിധ മേഖലകളിൽ വിവിധ തലങ്ങളിൽ ഇരിക്കും. ഞാൻ വേറെ കാര്യം കൂടെ ഞാൻ പറയാം. ഞാനൊരു വേൾഡ് ടൂർ പോയിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ അവിടെ ചെന്ന് ഒരു ലോബിയിൽ ഇരുന്നപ്പോൾ 2 പേര് എന്നെ വന്ന് പരിചയപ്പെട്ടു. എനിക്ക് ഒരു പരിചയമില്ല. നോക്കി ഇവിടെ പഠിച്ചവരാണ്, ബാങ്കിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. 2 പേര് ഞാൻ മറന്നുപോയി അവരുടെ. അവർ 2 പേര്. വേറൊരു കാര്യം, നോട്ട് നിരോധനം വന്ന കയ്യിൽ 5 പൈസയില്ലാതെ കാശില്ലാതെ നടന്നപ്പോൾ ഞാനൊരു ബാങ്കിൽ, എൻ്റെ വൈഫ് SBI തന്നെയാണ് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, പക്ഷേ അത് ദൂരെ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് കാശ് എടുക്കാൻ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് ഒരു ബാങ്കിൽ ചെന്ന് എനിക്കൊരു 5000 രൂപ മാറി ചില്ലറയായിട്ട് തരാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഒരു ലേഡി പെട്ടെന്ന് ഇറങ്ങി വന്നിട്ട് ഈ മാറ്റി തന്നു. ഞാൻ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ സരിതയാണ്, ഇവിടെ പഠിച്ച, അവരിപ്പോൾ വലിയൊരു പൊസിഷനിലാണ്. അതുപോലെ വിവിധ മേഖലകളിൽ Kcaet-യിലുള്ള ആൾക്കാർ പല തലങ്ങളിൽ, ഉയർന്ന തലങ്ങളിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അവരെല്ലാം ഒന്ന് ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് ചെയ്താൽ നമുക്ക് നമ്മളീ പറയുന്ന ഘോരഘോരം പ്രസംഗത്തിനേക്കാൾ നല്ലത് ആ സൈറ്റിലെടുത്ത് നോക്കിയാൽ ഈ വരും തലമുറയ്ക്ക് ജോലി സാധ്യതയിൽ ഒരു വലിയ ഒരു ആദരവായിരിക്കും അത് നൽകുന്നത്. മിക്കവാറും നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ എല്ലാം സൈറ്റിലാണല്ലോ നോക്കുന്നത്. നമ്മുടെ സൈറ്റ് ഇപ്പോഴും ശുഷ്കമാണ്. ഇവിടുന്ന് ഇറങ്ങിയവരെ എവിടെയൊക്കെ നിൽക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് പലപ്പോഴും അറിയാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. അതുകൂടി ചെയ്ത് നമ്മുടെ Kcaet-യെ കുറച്ചുകൂടി, ജയൻ സാർ കുറെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നു. ഞാൻ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ ഇന്നലെ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ മുഴുവൻ കുട്ടികൾ കളിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു, ഇത്രയും കുട്ടികൾ ഇവിടെ കളിക്കാനുണ്ടോ? അല്ല, ഇത് പുറത്തുനിന്നുള്ള ഒരാളൊന്ന് കളിക്കും. നല്ല കാര്യം. ആ ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു എനർജി നമുക്കിവിടെ Kcaet-ൽ നൽകാൻ കഴിയുന്ന ഒരു വലിയ കാര്യം തന്നെയാണ്. അത് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഞാൻ ഡീനെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് അഭിനന്ദിക്കുന്നു. ഞാൻ മുഴുവൻ ക്യാമ്പസിലെ എല്ലാ സ്ഥലത്തും ഞാനും സുധീർ ഞങ്ങളൊരു ടീം പോയിരുന്നു. വളരെ നന്നായിരിക്കുന്നു. ഇത് കുറച്ചുകൂടി ഉയരത്തിലേക്ക് വീണ്ടും ഉയരത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തട്ടെ എന്ന് പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവിധ ഭാവങ്ങളും നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir, for your informative talk. Now I request Dr. Jain Piyar, Dean of Faculty, to present our guest of honor, Dr. Sudhir KP, sir, with a memento as our expression of gratitude.
Thank you, sir. Next, I call upon Srimati Srija R, Assistant Professor, Department of PFE and Program Convener of this seminar, for the vote of thanks.
Morning to all. Respected Dean of Faculty Jain sir, our chief guest, our proud alumni, KP Sudhir sir, Institution of Engineers, Honorary Secretary Roy Matthew sir, Uday Umar sir, heads of departments of KCET, Instructional Farm Head Jabbar sir, other dignitaries, KCET alumni, participants from various colleges, and my dear students. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to thank everybody in the special occasion. This is a momentous occasion in KCET as we have hosted a national seminar after a long time. As a part of World Food Day, we are organizing this national seminar jointly sponsored by KCST Trivandrum, ACRP on PhD, funded by ICAR, and KCET Alumni Association. On behalf of the organizing committee, I thank all these organizations for the financial assistance to organize this event. I express my sincere gratitude to our respected Dean of Faculty, Jain sir, for his constant guidance and support to organize this event. It is his strong initiative which brings all alumni around the globe here that has added an extra spark to this national seminar. Fortunately, we are blessed with the presence of Dr. KP Sudhir, Executive Vice President of KSST and prestigious alumni of KCET here to inaugurate the function. And on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Sudhir sir for sparing his valuable time for us today and inspiring us with his words of wisdom. Thank you, sir. I also thank Engineer Babu sir, who is not present here, State Executive Engineer, our alumni, who is constantly involved in various activities related to placement of our students. Special thanks to Engineer Roy Matthew sir and Uday Kumar sir for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. I would like to thank Kabir sir, even though he is not present here, for his effort to connect all the alumni. He is the private secretary of additional private secretary of the Minister PWD and Tourism also, and due to his urgent official duty, he is not able to come here. I would like to extend warm vote of thanks to all of our alumni who took out their time from busy schedules to attend the seminar. Sometimes I even felt jealous on this alumni for their affection and love towards this institution even after many years. We are delighted to see you all here to make the event a grand success. I also thank all those alumni who are not present here and are unable to attend the function due to various reasons. Special mention to Dr. Manoj Samuel sir, Director CWRDM, Dr. Sudhir Bau sir, Registrar K. Vasu, and Dr. Kabir sir. I also thank Dr. Priyaji Nair. She is also not here. Head our KVK inside our KCET only, and head instructional firm Jabbar sir for being the part of this memorable event. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the heads of departments and other faculty members who have worked tirelessly to make this event a grand success. I would like to say that this event would not have been possible without the support and hard work of the young, energetic APC team. Special thanks to the technical team. The dedicated service of the technical team has to be appreciated. Hats off, guys. I also want to thank the respected delegates for taking their valuable time out and ensuring their presence here for these 2 days. Today, almost 7 students from different institutions were registered for this seminar. I also appreciate the efforts of our students to organize the seminar even in the busy schedules of their arts practice. A wide crowd of applause and thanks to all the participants who made the event a success. It was because of everyone's work that this national seminar was possible. I thank all the non-teaching staff, technical staff for their support in organizing the event. Hope we continue to work like this and organize such events in future for the betterment of our students. Finally, and above all, I express my sincere gratitude to my head of department, Dr. Prince MB, for being an amazing leader. Thank you. The way you handle the problems as they arise and find practical solutions with ease is inspiring. Thank you for making my ideas feel valued and encouraging me to step outside the box and get creative. We would not have done this event without you as our leader. Thank you, sir. With this, I conclude my vote of thanks. Hope you all are enjoying this event, and I request your sincere cooperation till the end of the event. Once again, thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. This marks the end of the inaugural function. I thank all the dignitaries for their valuable presence on this event. And there is an announcement here. If anyone remains to display the posters for the poster competition, you may reach the examination hall 2 of the college. I repeat, if anyone remains to display the posters for the poster competition, you may reach the examination hall 2 of the college. Now, we move on to the technical section. We are fortunate to have with us today some distinguished speakers who are rated figures in food industry. Each one of them brings valuable expertise and insights that will indeed make our exploration of the seminar topic a fruitful and enriching experience.
All to pay attention. The first technical session will begin shortly within 5 minutes.
Students, please be seated. Technical session is about to begin.
I belong to this place. I belonged to this place some time back, and I have very special memories of this particular hall, which I don't know many faculty wouldn't remember. This wasn't inaugurated, and this was a place where I got my first job from Kcaet. I was recruited for a company from this very hall. So I have very fond memories of this place. How many are non-Malayalis here? One, two. അപ്പൊ ഇടയ്ക്ക് മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാം വേണമെങ്കിൽ കുഴപ്പമില്ല. Okay. So you should excuse me for that. Sorry. So I am here to just set the ball rolling for this seminar. I have been assigned the responsibility to talk about the processing sector as such. How is that in India's processing sector looking like? What are the challenges? What are the problems? What are the opportunities? Who are the main players in the sector? So this will set the understanding of what food processing sector is all about. And probably you will digress into other aspects of this, what the seminar is supposed to talk on with respect to quality, with respect to entrepreneurship, or with respect to other aspects which my fellow speakers who are coming up tomorrow would deal with. So I just don't want to stand between you and the lunch, because it's already 12:10 and I probably will have around 50 minutes of time. So we'll just rush through whatever I have in store for you. At any point in time you feel like having a question or having some aspect which you feel I need to explain more, please raise your hands. I'll be happy to answer that. People sitting at the back, if you prefer to come here, you can have a better engaged session. If you want to come and sit somewhere here. Because I prefer to be there when I was a student, so I know what happens there. Okay, so this, yeah, okay. So this is what I want to speak on. India, the hub for the food processing and export. So may I know what kind of backgrounds you are from? All are food engineers? Huh? Microbiology. Oh, great. So otherwise all are engineers. How many of you are from microbiology? Oh, that's a big chunk. So no to technical stuff. Even I digress from technical a bit in my life, so I don't speak more technical here. So I'll try to be as plain as possible. So this is the agenda which I have said. We will talk on what is the food processing industry all about, what are the factors which are driving the growth, challenges, problems, which are the key sectors within the food processing sector which is promising. We also will talk about what are the export potential for processed food. We will talk about how is the foreign direct investment happening. We will try to have some understanding about these major industries like dairy industry, marine industry, or the seafood industry. We will also try and look at what are the government initiatives, what are happening in the country right now, and also we will look at what are the growth drivers and opportunities. In case anyone interested in entrepreneurship, there is a lot of things coming up for you about. So I just have to get here. So India's food processing industry has been not a big industry. Like if you look at the number of our position in terms of the world, we are the 5th biggest in terms of production, consumption, processing, etc. But if you look at in certain areas of production, we have got the world #1. Like we are first in rice, first in milk, first in pulses, first in jute. We are close second in the production of rice, wheat, sugar cane, many other crops, groundnut, vegetables. So what makes us so special, India? What makes us so special that we are one of the biggest agriculture production systems? What makes us so special? Huh? Please, can we louder? We have a diverse agro-climatic zones. We have got 46 different kinds of soil, or we have got 20 different agro-climatic zones, and we have the highest percentage of arable land. What is arable land? Which can be cultivated. So we have a highest percentage of arable land, and we are all proud of our own. We are the number one in the milk production, like we are the global number one, and we produce close to 221 million tons of milk, thanks to the movement called White Revolution. Very good. Who has started that? Dr. Varghese Kurian. And the beautiful brand which has come out of that? Amul. So we are all proud of that, right? That is an Indian brand which is making its mark across the world. We are also good at production of vegetables and fruits. We are at 350 million tons of vegetables, and the number which sir was talking about, 500, how much is going as waste, is something which is important in this context of discussion. Now, if you look at the industry as a whole, we can see that we are fifth largest. We have a production, or we have a total amount of around 886 million in revenue value of our food processing industry. We have a very beautiful growth rate of 11.18. What does that mean? We are growing every year by over 10% from the previous years. We also, our food processing industry actually has around 12.38% of the employments generated in the country. We also have a good inflow of foreign direct investment. How is that becoming important here? People are coming and investing in our industry. People understand that there is a potential in the Indian markets. There is a potential in getting the food processed in Indian markets and taken abroad, so that it gives them better revenue. So people are investing in the Indian markets. Now, if you look at how this industry is growing in the next 5 years or next 4 years, if you look at there is a growth which is looked at around 7.23 in terms of CAGR. What is CAGR? Compounded annual growth rates. Over every year, we are likely to grow around 7 to 8%. So our industry is kind of to be looked at around $1,274 million US dollars by the end of 2027. So that is a kind of growth. So that is a time when many of you will be professionals. So when that is an opportunity for everyone sitting here to be part of that industry as well. So that is, so when you try to look at an industry, say you will be from different walks of life, you're trying to make your mark with respect to getting a degree in the process. Look at those industries which are growing. Not many industries are growing in the scale. If you look at every industry is growing, but then all industries are not growing at the scale. So if I need to look at some industry for my career, look for those industries which are poised to grow. Industry which is growing. So that is what makes this industry a very important industry. Let's digress a bit, because I just want to discuss on what we were talking. I think one of the speakers during in the morning, I think it was Spencer who was talking about the one aspect of production and the other aspect of hunger. Right? So RBI, you know RBI, Reserve Bank of India, right? Reserve Bank of India in 2019 came out with a paper called Food Processing Industry in India, Challenges and Potential. So where it compared some of those challenges or the indicators along with the demand for food products in India. If you look at this chart, you can see that as the demand for food goes up in the on the y-axis, we can say that the indicators which is like people who are doing some or need food for survival, like your sub-Saharan Africa, where the indicator is just survival. But whereas you go up this, India, China, Latin America are in the next bucket, which is that we look for processed food with respect to beverages, dairy, fresh fruits, vegetables, and meat. So our market so that is the other side of it. On one side, we say that we are 111 among 125 countries in the hunger index. That is one side of it. But then a market which is developing, a market like India, which is not in the surviving indicator, is not the surviving indicator. We are slightly above that, along with China and Latin America. This is what RBI says in their study on food processing challenges and potential. So where you can see that, so what is the understanding we have to draw from this is that India is a market which is developing its food processing capabilities. And we need a lot of people here to take care of those challenges in the coming decades. You can see the next level. You can see Eastern Europe has moved into convenience snacks and other prepared meals. US and the other North American markets, Japan and others have gone into where it is diet, functional, organic food and other. So look at how the indicators move from on the standpoint of industrial development. From surviving, it moves to mass market products. So this is where we are at. We are looking at the mass market products, and we are looking at these products which are dairy, meat, fresh foods, juice, and beverages. So this is where India, China, and Latin America are. So what is that we need to draw as an understanding from this is that Indian market needs more professionals. Indian market needs more inputs with respect to technology. Indian markets need new brands to take up challenges of the demand for food in the coming decades. Okay, so what is that is driving growth in Indian market? We have heard about some of these things happening in India, right? Smart cities. Is burning? No. Smart cities, urbanization is happening. We can see that a lot of new consumers have come up. The middle class of India is growing. That is where the consumption is more. People are buying new products. People are buying white goods. People are investing in various other, because there is a lot of surplus in the middle income groups. So they are actually driving the urbanization. So they are actually changing the preferences. Consumer preferences are changing. People who are not having those kind of products have started having those kind of products. Probably in your own home, you will find that you will like to have a cereal with milk, but your parents would still love to have puttu idiyappam, and you will still want to have something else. That happens with me. I have 3 kids, and all these 3 kids are very fond of all these kind of ready-to-eat cereals than me making a dosa or idli or something like that. So that is the preference, change in preference of consumer. The next, the Gen Z or the whatever you call yourselves as, that generation is consuming differently. The consumer preferences are changing. So that is making food processing becoming a more important area in the process. So government is all out for many initiatives. We have heard about the Make in India initiative. We have heard about this PMFME, logistics facilities, cold chain facilities. We'll talk about it in detail in the later slides. So those are all aspects which are coming up, which are increasing the consumption in the urban spaces. We can see that the skilled workforce which is available for food technology and processing. There have been a lot of new places, new institutions which have come up, which have started training people. Like I think all of you are food technologists or people who are interested in the processing of food. Why? Because there is a renewed interest in that area. People want to learn about it. So there is a lot of skilled force available in the markets. Now, this is another interesting aspect. There is a comparison between India, US, Brazil, Thailand, Italy, and China. Why these countries? Because all these countries have got certain kind of specialities. India is a market which we are trying to compare. US is a really developed market. Brazil is similar to India. Thailand is in the forefront of processing. Like they are better than us in certain terms. Like the initial speakers talked about processing. Malaysia, Thailand probably does better than us in coconut and other processing. So this is one aspect. And Italy is one of those European countries which is good at processing. And China, obviously, we know they can do whatever they would like to. So if you look at many commodities, like for example, paddy as a commodity, you can see that India does relatively well, like the counterpart, like Brazil or Thailand. But then if you come down to vegetables, you come down to fruits, you come down to the other products like milk or wheat to a certain extent. You look at the kind of percentage of products or percentage of the quantity we produce that we process, it is abysmally low in the case of fruits and vegetables. That is where the question lies. Why are we processing a very minuscule percentage of fruits, very minuscule percentage of vegetables compared to the others? We don't have the habit of having processed food? Or it's just that we don't have the capabilities to do that? Or is the industry not grown enough to take care of those challenges? All these comes as questions to us. Right? So this is the standpoint that we are trying to discuss these topics in this seminar. Why are we lacking in this area? Right? So can we move ahead? So what are those things which are slowing or creating some kind of a, we are not moving at the pace which other countries have moved. What could be those reasons? So one obviously is that we don't have that kind of a disposable income in all walks of or all strata of people. People cannot afford processed food. It's not like us who probably can buy a packet of Lays every day. There are kids who cannot afford that. There are situations where processed food hikes up the, we'll always say that a packet of Lays is full of air and 10 chips in that, right? Because the processing makes the cost higher. So affordability is a question. Now, Indians traditionally prefer fresh food rather than processed food. Is that right? What do you feel? We generally like to have food fresh rather than buying anything which is processed. Yes or no? So, if you take if I take a poll of the preferences on a single product, probably it gives out. So somebody wants to have a processed meat compared to a fresh meat. How many of you will go for a processed meat? That says the answer, right? We will always like to have something, even frozen food, especially of those categories, we will find that the acceptance for that will be to a very minuscule percentage of. We would probably go and buy that fresh from the market. That is our preference. That's our Indian preferences. May it be vegetables, may it be fruits, may it be meat or any of those food products. So we don't have the habit, and we don't have a national character on food, right? We don't have a national character on food. Every place, the cuisine is different, the taste is different. I lived in Calicut for some years. My daughter and my wife doesn't like biryani which is made in the south of Kerala. they say that doesn't come to the levels of what we had in Talisheri or what we had in Calicut. So that is every square kilometer or every district in India has their own characteristics about food, right? Taste is different. The kind of spices we eat, it is mind-boggling. I think nowhere else in the world that people consume so much spices in the world, right? So we don't have a national character of food habits. So probably we have started doing some references nationally. Probably biryani is one. Otherwise, what could be something which we can say that okay, it's nationally available. You go to any part of the country, അത് കിട്ടും. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഫുഡ് ഐറ്റം കേരളത്തിന് പുറത്ത് കാല് വെച്ചാൽ തന്നെ പേടിയാ, എന്താ കിട്ടുക എന്നറിയില്ല അല്ലേ? മംഗലാപുരത്ത് പോയി മീൻകറിയോ മീൻ വറുത്തത് മേടിച്ചാലും വ്യത്യാസമാണ്, റവയിൽ മുക്കി പൊരിച്ചതായിരിക്കും അല്ലേ? Even the same aila or matti or whatever we eat, that processed the next other side of the border is different compared to what we do in the state. Even within the state, if you look at, we don't have a character. Like every district has got a similar. Simple example, മത്തി വെക്കുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണ്? ഓരോ സ്ഥലത്തും ഓരോ വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ടുള്ള രീതിയിലല്ലേ. മലപ്പുറത്ത് വന്ന മത്തി മുളകിട്ടത്, ഞങ്ങളുടെ നാട്ടിലേക്ക് പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ തേങ്ങ അരച്ച് വെക്കും. So we don't have a character within the state. Forget the national levels. So that is something which is one aspect which creates trouble for us. And there is always issues of, but transportation logistics, we have taken care for many of those which are not perishables. Like for us, onion comes from? Where does the onion come from? Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Where does onion come from? All our food travels a lot of distance. And when food travels a lot of distance, there's a lot of issues with that. So that was one thing which is written somewhere in the campus, that if you have the distance between the farm and folk is higher, longer, the quality deteriorates, right? But then still we have certain products which comes from longer distances. So there is no reliable cold chain facility like we have in other countries, where cold chain is an established facility where things are transported in cold environment. Now, another important aspect in this which we need to understand is that, have you heard about large corporate companies? You name a few. Some was Sir was talking about, Satyan sir was talking about Lulu Group, Reliance Group, all these kind of big corporate companies' names were taken out. If you look at the Indian scenario, most of these processing capabilities are available with small companies. So what happens with small companies? They will not have the muscle or the money power to invest in technology. They will not be able to invest in certain technology because that's not affordable for them. So they will fall short on those. So that is one aspect which we find as a hindrance for developing small scale manufacturers. Understand? And also we have that in certain cases what happens is that some of these markets do not consume the kind of products which the foreign companies want the markets to consume. Like for example, some people want to invest in Indian market for a certain kind of product, but then it doesn't justify the investment because of non-availability of a market. What happened to all your big names called Domino's or McDonald's and others when they came to Indian market? What is the story? It's a very interesting story. You go to these kind of places, now you get flavors which are Indian in nature, right? They will give you Indian flavor rather than a flavor which they have brought from their own homeland. Why? Because they are not able to sell that to the Indian consumer. So Indian consumer is different. So that is one issue. And supermarkets. Now we've heard about names. One supermarket, anybody from Trivandrum? Which supermarket got closed in Trivandrum? Very recently. Supermarkets, Trivandrum people. There's a very famous place which got named after that supermarket. Heard about this chain called Spencer's? In Trivandrum, there was a junction which was named Spencer Junction because there was a Spencer retail store there. That is a modern retail outlet. But unfortunately, they closed down because they said that they don't have a business here, or the business is not viable. So these are challenges. Supermarkets, finding it difficult. Supermarkets are not popular in certain part of the geography of India. They still believe on other kinds of retailing mechanisms. So all these are challenges which we encounter. And the another thing which we have which is concerned about, microbiologists also would agree with me, use of fertilizers and pesticides, the residue content, which is not helping us to take our products to the world markets. EU standards are so stringent that some products fail to reach those markets because of residue content, other chemicals, which is raising concerns on quality of food. And you also have products which are nutritionally not balanced, which is creating trouble for kids. Low value add in processing. When you process food, there are situations where it doesn't create that extra for what the customer has to pay. So you will have a detailed discussion on what is quality, what are the kind of certifications which are needed for a good quality product in India in the next session, which is coming up tomorrow. So I'll move on further from this. Again, you can see that 80 to 90% of whatever is happening as processing in food processing is done by unorganized sector. What do you mean by unorganized sector? പേര് കേട്ട കമ്പനികളല്ല പണിയെടുക്കുന്നത്. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു മോത്തിലാൽ, പവർലാൽ എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞുള്ള ആൾക്കാർ ഇപ്പോഴാണ് കുറച്ചും കൂടി നമ്മൾ കേൾക്കുന്ന പേരുകൾ അല്ലെ. ഹൽദിറാം ഒരു പേര് വന്നു അല്ലെ. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ we know some other names which are processing food, right? Which are those names? Any company? I told Amul, I told about Haldiram. Who else could be another name which we can say that, okay, this company is a food processing company from India? ഒരു പേര് പറഞ്ഞു. Eastern Brahmins, Melam Masala. They also do some kind of processing, right? But otherwise, on a national scale, MTR. Yes, that's one name. Otherwise, നമുക്കറിയാവുന്നത് പെപ്സിയും അല്ലേ. പെപ്സിയുടെ പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഇതാ. I have a bad habit because I keep asking these questions of products which you probably would have consumed yesterday or today. And you never bother to see on the other side which company manufactured it. Right? You will say stories about it is costing 10 rupees, 20 rupees, sir. I know that packet is those kind of issues again plague our food processing industry, because we don't know where to trace back to. If there is a, like microbiologists will say, trace back the issues of some residual content, what happens? How do you do that? What is the mechanism used now? They will say that we will produce in our own farms, so we can take care of this residual content. Otherwise, can we bring this production together and do a kind of processing, sourcing it from every place? Is it possible now in the current context? Can we still ensure the quality in the process? So Dinesh will talk about certifying the farms, which will be the way to take care of such requirements. Now, in many contexts, when you say that, okay, when you go for some food which is processed, what is the first thing which you look at? എന്താ വില എന്നല്ലേ? ഇത് നമുക്ക് പറ്റുന്ന കാര്യമല്ല, എപ്പോഴും കഴിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല, കാരണം ഭയങ്കര കോസ്റ്റ് ആണ് അല്ലേ? Why? Because that processing is adding to the cost of that particular product. So that creates trouble. And secondly, I will come back to my famous example of takali. Price varies. ഇപ്പൊ എത്ര തക്കാളിയുടെ വില? എത്ര? 28. 4 കിലോ 100 രൂപ എന്നൊക്കെ എവിടേക്ക് എഴുതി വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. 25 രൂപ ഉണ്ട് അല്ലേ? ഇതൊക്കെ നോക്കാറുണ്ടോ? Do you look at the prices of all commodities which you consume on a daily basis? Never. Don't look at it. You will have a heart attack. Because as a person who consumes this product, you should be very mindful about what is the cost prevailing in the market. Why is it costing so much? And what has happened as an eventuality which has led to the spike of this cost? Ariyande. So this is what I tell all my students, whenever you're moving around in the market, whenever you are in some place, keep your eyes and ears open. Look at what is there around. Packet പൊട്ടിച്ച് തിന്നുമ്പോൾ തിരിച്ചൊന്ന് നോക്കുക, അതിൽ എന്ത് വെയിറ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, എന്ത് വിലയുണ്ട്, ആരുണ്ടാക്കി, എവിടെ നിന്ന് ഉണ്ടാക്കി എന്നൊക്കെ ഉള്ളത് അതിനകത്ത് എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യത്തിനാണ് അത് എഴുതിയേക്കുന്നത്. Please look at that. That is one main important aspect with respect to food processing. Who has processed that? What is their FSSAI number? Kanarle, FSSAI number. Some people would be familiar with that as an institution. Need to keep looking at that. Now, you also have issues like I said, there are these small industries. Small industries always have the problem of കാശില്ലായ്മ, ഫിനാൻസ് ഇല്ല. ഒരു പുതിയ മെഷീനറി വാങ്ങാൻ കാശില്ല, ഫിനാൻസ് ഇഷ്യൂസ്, high import. So you want to get a product from outside. Like for example, ഈ ഭാഗത്ത് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൽ മൊത്തത്തിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വളരെ സ്റ്റേപ്പിൾ ഫുഡാണ് കപ്പ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കൊള്ളി എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന സാധനം. അതിനകത്തുനിന്ന് ഒരുപാട് പുതിയ പുതിയ പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? പാസ്ത വരെ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? കപ്പ കൊണ്ട് പാസ്തയും അങ്ങനത്തെ നൂഡിൽസും ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാക്കി തുടങ്ങി. പക്ഷെ ഇതിന്റെയൊക്കെ മെഷീനറി എവിടെ നിന്ന് വരണം? ഇറ്റലിയിൽ നിന്ന് വരണം. ഇറ്റലിയിൽ നിന്ന് ഇമ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇമ്പോർട്ട് ഡ്യൂട്ടീസ് ഒക്കെ വരും. So those are all issues again. And right, we have whatever we consume now, like whatever we consume now, how did you know about that? എങ്ങനെ അതിനെ കുറിച്ച് മനസ്സിലായ? ക്രിക്കറ്റിനിടയിൽ ഒരു ബോൾ എറിയുന്നതിനിടയിൽ പരസ്യം വരും അല്ലെ? അഡ്വർടൈസിംഗ്. Whatever comes in between, we keep that gets updated in your system. So when you find that in the markets, you look at that and you probably consume that product, because that's what advertising is. And ഒരു ക്രിക്കറ്റ് മാച്ചിനിടയിൽ പരസ്യം കൊടുക്കാൻ എന്ത് ചെലവ് വരും? ഒരു ക്രിക്കറ്റ് മാച്ചിനിടയ്ക്ക് ഒരു 10 സെക്കൻഡിന്റെ ആഡ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 30 സെക്കൻഡിന്റെ ആഡ് ഇടുന്ന ഒരാൾ എത്ര രൂപ ചെലവാക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും ഒരു പരസ്യത്തിന്? സെക്കൻഡിനാണ് ലക്ഷങ്ങൾ വില വരുന്നത്. ഒരു സെക്കൻഡിന് 10 ലക്ഷം രൂപ, 3 ലക്ഷം രൂപ, 2 ലക്ഷം രൂപ. ക്രിക്കറ്റിനിടയിൽ അത് വളരെ സർവ്വസാധാരണമായിട്ടുള്ള എമൗണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് അവർ ആ ചെലവാക്കുന്ന പൈസ തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കണ എങ്ങനെയാ? നമ്മൾ പാക്കറ്റ് മേടിച്ച് പൊട്ടിച്ച് കഴിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ്. സോ advertising costs are staggering. Cost of advertising going up day in. അപ്പൊ ഈ ചെറിയ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് പരസ്യം കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? അവരാകെ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് 6:45 ന്യൂസിന് മുമ്പ് KS കാലിത്തീറ്റ. നിങ്ങൾക്കില്ലേ? ആരൊക്കെ റേഡിയോ വെക്കും? പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ വീട്ടില് റേഡിയോ ആർക്കൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്? ആരൊക്കെ റേഡിയോ വെക്കും കാലത്തെ? ശീലമില്ലല്ലേ? Very bad. I think I am old school in this whole process. You listen to that, you will find that there are certain products which are sold only through radio. Because the cost of advertising is much cheaper and you reach rural markets compared to people like you who watch what you call IPL or World Cup or something else where you can sell or give that kind of a money for advertising. So advertising costs are huge. So these are all problems which are faced by any industry. Unlike any industry, even food industry is also having this, which makes the life of a small unorganized sector very difficult. Because there are, and like Sir was talking about during the inauguration, he was talking about what is that technology is going to provide me extra, which will improve my business. So that makes issues for us. Now let's look at which are those sectors which are part of this food processing sector. We can talk about cereals, pulses mining, fruit and vegetables, milk and milk products, coffee, tea, cocoa. That in itself is a big industry, right? Coffee, tea, cocoa, fish, poultry, meat products, then aerated soft drinks, all your Pepsis and Cokes and others, your beverages, beer, wine and all other alcoholic beverages, your bread, biscuits, jams or bakery items, your fats and oils. Oil is a big industry. Confectionery is a big industry. You also have breakfast cereals I was talking about, right? Breakfast cereal is again a big industry. So all these are part of the big chain of food processing industries. You heard about these? Heard about this? Amul, Kisan, Ruafza, paperboard. I think many of you are familiar with paperboard, right? Juice. Then McCain, Mother Dairy, Haldirams, Fortune, Saffola. All these are brands which are popular among us, which we find in our own nearby supermarkets. Right? This name was seen very frequently during the Cricket World Cup, right? This one? Viva. Cricket was this there? Okay, tell me what was there on the ground as advertisements? Cricket. ഏത് കമ്പനിയുടെ ഒക്കെ പരസ്യം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു? Any food company you identified there? ഞങ്ങളതൊന്നും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കാറില്ല. ക്രിക്കറ്റ് തന്നെ കാണുന്നത് അല്ലേ? Anything which you remember? Huh? Which company was there as partner in crime or partner in? Who was sponsoring World Cup cricket? Okay, let's move on. So if you look at the world over, there are certain big brands which can, ഇതൊന്നും നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്ത് വെക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല, ഇതൊക്കെ ഇന്റർനെറ്റിലുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ അവിടെ നിന്ന് തന്നെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നേക്കണത്. ഇതൊക്കെ അവിടെ കിട്ടും. ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒന്ന് ചാറ്റ് GPT പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി, അവർ തരും കാര്യങ്ങൾ. Okay, so you have P&G, Nestle, Kraft, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Kellogg's, Wrigley's. ഇവരുടെ ഒക്കെ ബ്രാൻഡുകൾ കണ്ടില്ലേ? എത്ര തരം ബ്രാൻഡുകൾ. ഇവരുടെ അടുത്താണ് നമ്മുടെ ഫുഡ് പ്രോസസിംഗ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി, പോയ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസ് പണിയെടുക്കേണ്ടത്. മനസ്സിലാവണ്ടേ? So what is that needs to be done from a standpoint of a food processing sector to be developed? They are all big giants in the markets worldwide. You talk about Pepsi, you talk about Coke or P&G or Nestle or Unilever or Johnson or Mars, all have got their own brands, which have got crores and crores invested in the products. Some are food products, some are non-food. But in the process, we are also having our own organic. These are our new entrants in the organic, along with our Ayurvedic products, which have become an important food product. Or what is that has come up very recently, which is making even the big names like, where is that name? I can't find that here. Colgate Palmolive. Can see somewhere? No. What did Colgate Palmolive get as a beating in the last couple of years? Paper വായിക്കുന്ന ശീലമില്ലല്ലേ? കോൾഗേറ്റിൽ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ എന്താ പണിയിട്ടത്? മലയാളത്തിൽ ചോദിക്കാം. കോൾഗേറ്റ് എന്നല്ല, എല്ലാ FMCG കമ്പനികൾക്കും ഓരോ പണിയിട്ടി. നമ്മുടെ യോഗാസ്വാമി വന്നിട്ട് ഒരു പണി എടുത്തു അല്ലെ? പതഞ്ജലി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സാധനം, പതഞ്ജലിയുടെ വിറ്റുവരവ് ഇപ്പൊ എത്ര ഉണ്ട്? 12,000 കോടിയോ? So that made a difference in the Indian markets. Indian markets were not looking at Ayurveda as an ingredient, but Patanjali made all these big names which came from ഈ ഹിന്ദുസ്ഥാൻ യൂണിലിവർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന യു കാണുന്നില്ലേ? യൂണിലിവർ ഇത് എവിടെ നിന്നുള്ളവരാ? നമ്മള് ഡെയിലി പല്ലേക്കൂല്ലോ, പെപ്സോഡിന്റെ എടുത്ത് പല്ലേക്കും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കോൾഗേറ്റ് പാമോലിവ് എടുത്ത് പല്ലേക്കും, കോൾഗേറ്റ് പേസ്റ്റ് എടുത്ത് പല്ലേക്കും. അതൊക്കെ എവിടെ നിന്നുള്ള കമ്പനികളുടെ പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് ആണ്? ഇന്ത്യയിൽ മാനുഫാക്ചറിംഗ് ഉണ്ട്, ബട്ട് വേർ ഡസ് ദ പേരന്റ് കമ്പനി കം ഫ്രം? They are multinational companies who come from places like they came along with the Britishers, which is UK. Some brands came from UK, some brands came from some other countries. Right? So all these people have been in the markets. You heard about this? This is where you will find that we also as Kerala need to be proud of that some brands are making their presence in the national scenario. Who bought Wipro? Hello. Who bought Brahmins? Wipro. Brahmins കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ? What are they doing? മസാല പൗഡർ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ? കറി പൗഡർ, ചമ്മന്തിപ്പൊടി, പിന്നെ സാമ്പാർ പൗഡർ, പിന്നെ എല്ലാതരം പുട്ടുപൊടി, അപ്പപ്പൊടി എല്ലാം വെക്കുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലെ? So they have been in the market. They developed a brand called Brahmins, or there was another brand by name Eastern, or there's another brand. Tell me some other brands which is from Kerala. Nirapura is there. So all these brands have grown to a certain level that now national companies or national brands are eyeing on them. That is why you can see that Wipro was, somebody came and invested in Wipro. Who was that? Brahmins. It was Wipro. Who came and invested in Eastern? Somebody was talking, MTR. They came in. So there is another company by name Orkla, which is from Norway. They came and invested. So our brands are also making a mark. They have also started developing their own products. So as such, if you see, food processing companies have started making their presence. So that is why government is also very keen on developing in this sector. So there are a lot of activities which are happening as part of this. If you look at export, we can see that there is a lot of export which is happening, which could be processed food. There are 3 different categories of products which are being exported. One is called ready to eat, RTE, ready to serve and ready to cook. ready to eat, ready to serve, and ready to cook. ചൂടുവെള്ളത്തിലിട്ടാൽ പനീർ ബട്ടർ മസാലയായി അല്ലേ? So we also know the famous 2-minute noodles, right? Ready to cook, ready to eat. So there are a lot of such variants which are coming in, and there is a lot of market for such products, especially in the markets which are developed like US, UAE, and other places. So there is a lot of markets like US, Malaysia, UAE, where we are exporting products. So there is a lot of growth in processed vegetables, processed fruits, processed livestock products. So there is growth in all these categories, which is a very positive sign for us to understand that these kind of categories are growing. What does that mean? There is more scope for us to develop that as business in the coming years. Now, basmati rice, marine products. Basmati rice is a brand, India Gate. That's a very famous brand. So you can see that this is one big brand, a big category of product which is sold across the globe from India. You can have other, so we are also the biggest exporter of buffalo meat also. We also export large quantity of spices. We banned this very recently. What was that? What did we ban recently? Export. Food engineers say, paper vayikanota. What did we do? We banned the non-basmati rice exports very recently. It created a lot of issues in supermarkets in US. People started panic buying. Why? They felt that India wouldn't be exporting non-basmati because we felt that there could be a crisis in the process in India. We exempted basmati and we stopped the export of non-basmati. So you look at how things are growing in the Indian scenario with respect to processed food, livestock products, and processed vegetables. All these categories are growing in the last 1 year. And you can see that India is also emerging as a very leading exporter of food material, food items to various countries. And who are our markets? Middle East obviously is our big market. We also have our friends in North America, Europe, and Southeast Asia consuming Indian products. So what are those products which are going? Spices, processed fruits and vegetables. So we need to ensure that we have a competitive price and we give quality products. Now, if you look at how fruits and vegetables have grown, the production in India has grown over the last 3-4 years. If you look at from 2018 to 2022, if you look at, there is a growth of 3%. And there is a growth of 3.8%, or close to 4% in the vegetables. Now, look at fresh produce is getting exported to many countries. Processed products like even the basic vegetables which goes to people who have gone to Middle East or lived in Middle East would say that you will know from which country the product has come from. So there's a lot of fresh produce which is exported. You can see that grapes, pomegranates, mango, bananas, oranges, those are the fruits which are getting exported. In the vegetable category, onions, mixed vegetable, potatoes, tomatoes, green chili, all these gets exported to various countries. So what is that? I was talking about those initiatives which are coming up in a big way to promote export of fruits and vegetables. You can see that there is 100% foreign direct investment in food processing sector. There's a new agricultural export policy which came up in 2017, which is in place, which takes care of a lot of those issues which previously were hindering export. There is a direct involvement of farmers in export. You can put it up on the Farmer Connect portal. You can connect with buyers outside and get your products to the international markets. You have got, that's what I was telling, traceability systems. From which place did it originate can be there is technology which has come up which can trace the products to those farms. So you have a Horti net, you have a Horti net for vegetables, you have a Horti net for citrus fruits. Your oranges and lemons have got this. So these are all areas which are getting developed, which can ensure that products from India can reach the overseas markets. And now, you can also, we were talking about foreign direct investment. Look at the kind of investment which has come into India over so many years. $6 billion US dollars from 2015. That from April 2000, we can see that around 11.79 million US dollars have come to India, which means that people are interested to invest in India. So that makes this industry much more vibrant. Now, if you go back to this industry, we have heard about milk production, one of the best in the world. We are on top with respect to 221.06 million tons. We contribute to 23% of the production globally in milk and milk products. We can see that it is also on a growth trajectory from 146 in 2014-15 to 209 and now to 21 in 22-23. So that is the kind of growth which we have in the dairy sector. Now, what do we have in dairy sector? There is exports happening to the nearby countries, Bangladesh, UAE, Malaysia, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. There are a lot of new schemes like we saw for food and fruits and vegetables. For dairy sector also, there are new schemes which have come up, which talks about Rashtriya Gokul Mission, where we are trying to build the collection of indigenous cows. Why indigenous cows? What is the difference between what we were traditionally looking at as our stock for milk versus what is that we have got with respect to indigenous cows? Why are we looking at this as an important aspect? Climate resilient, disease resistant cattle. Our indigenous varieties are more disease resistant. They can thrive in hard environments, right? So that's why we are looking at this as an important area where we are trying to take it to, we saw that it is 220 million metric tons in 2022-23. We are aiming at taking it to 300 million metric tons by 2025. So these are ambitious targets for us. Increasing per animal yield. There is another program called National Program for Dairy Development, which is strengthening the cooperative sector. There is the main objective is to enhance the quality of milk and milk-based products. So this is another program from the government. Another program is dairy entrepreneurship, where they're developing new entrepreneurs from this program. So it's again an opportunity for graduates like you to look at this as an opportunity for developing your own business, which will help you to improve milk production, procurement, and other areas, and it's supported by NABARD. Now you look at fish or seafood or marine products. You can see that India has a very big coastline of around 8,118 kilometers, and we are the third largest fish and aquaculture producing country. And we export a huge volume of fish from the Indian seafood processors. So there is a lot of inland as well as resources are utilized with the inland fisheries as well as the catch from the sea. So we can see that that's again on a growth trajectory from 10 million to 16 million, and there is huge percentage increase in the fish captured and fish harnessed. So there is a lot of potential, there are a lot of export as well as the export trends are wavering, but still there is a lot of export happening in the seafood or marine products. And now, if you look at countries where it is going, I think the highest is going to the US. The largest market for the marine products is the US. We also have the other countries, which is China, European Union, Southeast Asia. You can look at US being the first, China being the second, and the European Union being the third largest market for the marine products from India. So that is with respect to marine products. Let's see what are those key initiatives that government has been putting forth for development of the food processing sector. The first one is this Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sampada Yojana. And we have now, we can see there are new mega food parks which have come up in India in many places. There are integrated cold chains, value-added infrastructure. There is an Operation Green which looks at organic products in other areas. We have, for backward and forward linkages scheme. What does that mean? Backward and forward linkages with respect to the value chain. For setting up the industry, probably you will need to have mechanisms which will take care of the procurement of raw materials to the logistics to take those products to these markets. So those linkages are established with the support of the government. All state and central governments are trying to ensure that the products which are produced in those states are taken to the right markets. So there is like I said, there is a platform centrally available on which you can, there is an eNAM portal. Heard about that? There is an electronic market where you can go and post your products which are available, and that can fetch buyers across the country. There is a portal which is available. Similarly, you have this PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises, PMFME, where there's a famous activity which was started in India last year, which is called One District, One Product. Every district, there is one agriculture product which is identified, and the government supports the activity of processing of that product from that particular district. So every, for example, Calicut has got coconut as a product. Say Pathanamthitta has got tapioca as the product. Trivandrum has got some other. So every district has got its own products. And the resource person tomorrow coming up in the afternoon, Dr. Sinija VR is the person who heads this for the southern part of India. So she will be talking in detail about this activity in tomorrow's session, about what is this PMFME and how is it taking, or how is it going to change the way we look at processing in the years to come. Now, we also, so this is what is the Sampada Yojana, which is scheme for agro-marine processing and development of agriculture processing clusters. There is a lot of money which has been allocated, 6,600 crores. And there is a lot of activities as part of this 14th Financial Commission cycle, where you have, they are looking at mega food parks, integrated cold chain facilities, infrastructure for agro-processing clusters, and all other allied. Food safety is again looked at very seriously in this context. So if you look at the future of India's food processing sector, as we have seen how it is being working all these years, you can see that there's a renewed energy in the system, which is trying to bring up this aspect. Like we have heard about this famous aspect which was driven very vehemently by the government, which is called doubling farmers' income. So all these activities are directed towards doubling farmers' income. If you can see that in this, we have the other side of Indian markets is that India has a huge consumption also. Like we don't have that. Most of our products are consumed within the country, and we have very less for the export mechanism. But having said that, there is no dearth of products to be processed. So that is why we are trying to look at markets which can be looked at. So for getting our products to those areas. And the second thing is that, which I started during the discussion, that we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. The second tier cities or the third tier cities, the income levels of the people have gone up drastically. So there is a renewed requirement of such products in these markets. So that is why we can see that tier 2, tier 3 cities expect to mirror the trends of consuming more processed food. You can see KFC in even smaller towns. Where is the nearest KFC here? Edapal. Edapal never had a KFC till recently, right? I found that even in smaller towns like Chenganur, Tiruvalla, Adur, all these small towns across the state, you will find KFC as a brand which has put up a store. Why? Smaller tier cities have started consuming those products. Soon you will see Domino's. Soon you will see the other kind of brands coming up there. So our smaller towns have started such consumption like the metropolitan cities. If you go to other states, this will be the same scenario in smaller towns. So you can find that those domestic consumption is going up. International players are coming up and establishing such retail chains across the country. So that they are also seeing this sustained growth in the business in our markets. So that is fueling their future. So you can see that there is a lot of renewed interest and there is focus on these new technologies which have come up. Let me just put up this aspect also as part of discussion. How many of you heard about AI? What is that? Artificial intelligence, right? What is the other one written there? IoT, Internet of Things. ഇവിടെ അതിന്റെ പല ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റേഷൻസ് ഈ ക്യാമ്പസിൽ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. If you are interested, you can get in touch with the faculty. They will be able to explain to you on. So this is actually improving the ways in which we are doing. In any walk of life now, IoT, AI, blockchain is becoming a part. Like now you have started using ChatGPT instead of Google, right? ChatGPT gives you a better solution compared to Google, right? Or the other one other than ChatGPT is Bard from Microsoft. Heard about that? എന്റെ പിള്ളേരൊക്കെ അസൈൻമെന്റ് എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആദ്യം ആ ടോപ്പിക്ക് ChatGPT എഴുതും. എന്നിട്ടാണ് അടുത്ത കഥ അതിൽ നിന്ന് വരുന്ന കഥയാണ് പിന്നെ എഴുതി ഉണ്ടാക്കുക. So that is what is happening across the globe. People have started using generative AI. All these are going to be, please understand that you are going into that world. We came into the Google world, the internet world. You are going into those LLMs and generative AIs and IoTs and blockchains. Please be familiar with this. പിടിച്ചു നിൽക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ഇത് വേണം. ഇനിയുള്ള കാലത്ത് പിടിച്ചു നിൽക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ഇത് വേണം. Because that is the way the industry is changing. The way education is changing, way in processing sector is changing. Those technologies are going to come in. So our exports, our imports, our processing will always get all these kind of aspects drawn into their as part of the technology and part of the development. So as professionals going into this industry, you should be well aware of those new technologies which are coming. At least read some papers or some articles regarding how is it getting implemented in the food processing sector. That will actually give you an edge over others, that I understand what is that. Artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, machine learning. These are not concepts which probably were taught to me when I was a student. I had to learn that to teach my students now. That is the flip side of it. So you are going to learn something. We never knew what is Facebook or any of those social media when we were students. But now we teach what is the social media and all those metrics with respect to social media. നിങ്ങൾ ലൈക്സും വ്യൂസും ഷെയർസും ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഓരോന്നും ചെയ്യണ്ടല്ലേ? എങ്ങനെയാ നിങ്ങൾ അത് മനസ്സിലാക്കി? നിങ്ങൾ സ്കൂളിൽ പഠിപ്പിച്ചിരുന്നോ? ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ലൈക്സ് ഉണ്ടാക്കണം, ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, അല്ലെ ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇംപ്രഷൻസ് കൂടുതൽ ഉണ്ടാക്കണം. You learned it, right? Now it has become part of your life. ഇത്ര ലൈക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞ പോസ്റ്റിന് കിട്ടി, ഈ പോസ്റ്റിന് അതിനകത്ത് ഒരു 10 എണ്ണെങ്കിലും കൂടുതൽ വേണമെന്നുള്ള ഒരു ചിന്ത വരുന്നില്ലേ? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ്? You want to make you want to feel yourself good that I have impressed so many people. That is part of your life now. This is going to be part of your life also. If you are part of this discussions, pay attention on all these aspects, new technologies which are coming in. You will find that nowadays export is becoming, see, government gives a lot of incentive for those activities. There is a new way of promoting Indian food, Indian cuisine, Indian processed food, which has got now a lot of global buyers. Like I said, there are a lot of small players, but the small players need to be nurtured. There are a lot of incentives for these small players to be nurtured. And that will make a strong food processing sector in India. And there's a lot of opportunities there. Now, what are those? These are things which we already discussed. There is 100% FDI, 100% allowed in the government approval route for trading, including e-commerce. There are new 46 projects which have been launched in the Operation Greens scheme. So there's a lot of, last year we heard about this, food engineers would have heard about year of millets. ഏതെങ്കിലും സെമിനാറിന് പോയിരുന്നോ? മില്ലറ്റിന്റെ കഥ കേൾക്കാൻ. എന്നിട്ട് എന്ത് കേട്ടു? മില്ലറ്റ്സിന്റെ കഥ കേട്ടോ? എവിടെയെങ്കിലും പോയിട്ട് ആരെങ്കിലും പറഞ്ഞോ ഇയർ ഓഫ് മില്ലറ്റ്സ് ആണ്, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇനി മുതൽ നമ്മൾ മില്ലറ്റ്സ് കഴിക്കണം എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇല്ലേ? That's again becoming a very important, because the stress on the other staples are going up. Rice, wheat and other staples need a lot of water to cultivate. Millets don't need that. So that is why if you look at world over, there is a lot of push for millets. Why? Because going forward, the generations to thrive on this earth, you need to have food. Wheat and rice on the. So you need to develop alternate, like Sudhir sir was talking about nutraceuticals. Chakakuri podichipa capsule like it. Nutraceutical and breakfast. So that is the way things are moving. There are a lot of things which are going in a different tangent altogether, where you talk about nutraceuticals, you talk about only calories you need to consume. You will not probably sit and have a meal. So those kind of things are coming up in a big way. So these are all part of food processing sector. You're going to be part of that. Now, so there are a lot of opportunities for investors, entrepreneurs in the category. You can talk about all these areas which are opportunities. Like this is what I was talking about. Probably you can check with the person who is coming up tomorrow, who will talk more about this ODOP and PMFM. Now, to just conclude this, I would want to say only one thing, that as we move forward in this seminar on food processing sector, I just tried to give you a glimpse of what's happening in the Indian food processing sector. There are a lot of things happening. So as a professional who would like to be in this industry, maybe you want to be an entrepreneur in the industry, or maybe you want to become a researcher in this industry, there's a lot of scope and there's a lot of activities in this. So there's a lot of government support. So you are in the right place for the years to come. Please keep a tab on all these kind of things which are happening around you. Please keep your eyes and ears open. പാക്കറ്റ് പൊട്ടിക്കുമ്പോൾ അതിലുള്ള വില നോക്കുക, അതിൽ എവിടെ നിന്ന് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെന്ന് നോക്കുക. ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ നോക്കിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എന്താ കഴിക്കുന്നത് നമുക്കറിയില്ല. So wish you all the best and thank you very much for a patient listening. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Any questions? Everybody is hungry, so they don't want to ask questions. Or you can ask me on the sidelines. I am around this place for till tomorrow afternoon. So if you feel that anything which I'll be able to answer, I'll be happy to do so. So thank you very much once again for this patient listening, and wish you all the best.
Students, please be seated.
Now I request Dr. Jain PR, Dean of Faculty, to present Engineer A. Suresh Kumar sir with a memento as an expression of our gratitude. Thank you, sir, and thank you everybody to be a patient listener. There is an announcement at 2:15 p.m. There will be a annual general body meeting of the KCAT Alumni Association. At 2:15 p.m. there will be a annual body. At 2:15 p.m. there will be annual general body meeting of KCAT Alumni Association.
Lunch will be served at the auditorium. I request all of you to please move to the auditorium with the food coupons. By 2 p.m., we will be having poster presentation competition at the examination hall 2 and also the hot balls culinary contest. I repeat, by 2 p.m., we will be having poster presentation competition and hot balls culinary contest. The competitions will be held in the examination hall 2.
you.